We are live. Get everything set up so I can test the audio here. Oh man, if you tune into that live stream, you'll hear all our AI songs still going in the background. I still have that set up, so if you've been missing the AI songs like 48B, just tune into the live stream. Yep. We just started a live stream, so it's whatever you say, it'll be broadcast.
Then don't do it right.
Rooster Bear, what's up? Live streams are back. Welcome, Rooster Bear.
Rooster Bear is back. Or is it that we're back?
We're back. Rooster Bear never left. We were the ones who took a little break from live streaming. Good to see you again, Rooster Bear. No, we just been busy, you know, Komodo stuff. It got crazy all winter long.
Hands off. Hands off. Hands off, Andy. No, I got it. Anybody in the chat can guess what Andy does.
Rooster Bear, how have you been doing, my friend?
Probably mentioned it before in live, right? Somebody must have the Easter egg, right? So like.
Rooster Bear says, how are we doing? We're doing good. We're still working away here, selling our batteries, always developing new products here. So we've been really moving those G4s. We're hoping to talk to some folks about G4s today. We actually only have 10 of those left in stock right now, so G4s have been selling like crazy. Rooster Bear wants to know if we still have the Husky. We still carry Huskies, Brian?
I think he needed one Husky, so potentially yes. But we gotta double check. It might be low.
Sardar, can you check inventory on Huskies for us? He's listening to today's greatest hits right now. I'm gonna message him on Slack.
You can no longer say the thing. The bit about we're upstairs and you're downstairs.
I know, dude. I was about to like do my script, but it's not applicable anymore. I'm gonna have to come up with a new one. They're building your batteries down the street.
Down the street. We're in a different building.
We're in a new office.
New office. Well, technically, old office.
Old office serving as new office.
At one point, this one served as the new office, and then it became the old office, and we went to the other office, and then we came back here to the old office.
And so they've both been the new and old office at different points. Rooster Bear, I'm trying to find out if we got Huskies right now. I wish I had a real Husky.
Are we on opposite sides as we used to be?
No, this is the way it used to be.
And on my screen, you can only really see like.
Yeah, just like a little piece of it.
To like here.
Yeah.
So do you want to like just put something there? Alright, remember that the YouTube live is like a few seconds, maybe a minute behind. So whatever we're saying.
Rooster Bear, we have 43 in stock right now, so let us know what you need.
Nope. Oh, we can't say that.
What are we calling them now? The H batteries. The Husk batteries.
We got a Husk laying around.
What's that dog that's similar to a Husky? A Malamute?
Sorry, what?
I said, what's that dog that's similar to a Husky? A Malamute? I feel like, Andy, you would know
Are you
this.
saying Malibu?
Malamute.
I don't know what that is.
I might be tripping. Maybe that's not even a thing. Awesome. Thanks, Rooster Bear. Be sure to hit me and Brian up when you're ready for that, because we will get you the best hookup. We are the ones who know you as as our most loyal and dedicated viewer. Is a Malamute the dog that's similar to a husky?
Life's a breeze, oh baby, the battery's got you sprung. If your soul is cold and chilling, feeling wide, feeling so thrilling, you're bright, energy's alright. Battery Evo, keeping it tight through the night. Battery Safari, battery
So,
Safari.
dog, real quick, you know, remember those pallet jacks that we brought? There's like this little. You remember? We're supposed to try to offer them to. Did you ever take a picture of it? It's on there. Can you censor the SKU?
Okay. I think we have to change the name of the husky, so it's not that, but it's the same battery that it always has been. Rooster Bear. Oh, you know what? This is Rooster Bear's battery. Should we call it the Rooster?
I guess you could. Yeah, you could rename it.
Sidar. Rooster. Because you'll have electricity at the crack of dawn.
Easy to spell, easy to remember.
Rooster Bear, I think we're going to name this, the Husky battery is now going to be the Rooster battery. We're naming it just after you.
I would never done it.
That's when the creative director steps in and changes everything.
Alright, so I
Battery Safari, Battery Safari, Battery Safari.
It's tempting to just make it Rooster Bear battery, but I think that would probably have worse SEO.
Double comms installed, energy machine running smooth.
where did you drop the link to
Battery
live?
Evo, living the dream.
It's in the marketing Slack.
With ease, fast and simple. Use me please, golf cars to homes.
Oh, you can hear the music.
Battery
Yup.
It's a breeze,
Play out
offering
loud.
solutions. We got your back, solar power, never lack. Eco living on the right track. Battery Evo, the features packed. Battery Safari.
Rooster Bear says, I have another RV. What kind of battery do I get? Razorback would be a good one, right? Razorback would probably be a good one.
Turn it old to new without strife. Green genie in here feels the hype. Battery
I think we
Evo,
can do
cut
before
like a
enough.
knife. Watch the
But
clock.
if you have a 12 volt inverter or you need a 12 volt inverter, pricing and
Eco power in a blink.
Razorback.
Join the movement, feel the beat. Energy revolution
12
can't be
volts
beat.
plus 12
Battery
volt
Evo, it's so sweet. Saving
Rooster Bear, do you know what voltage you would need for that RV? If you have an inverter already in the system?
if you don't have an inverter already, you would technically start with
Sunrise to sunset power flows. Battery Evo, that's how it goes. Eco-friendly, everybody knows. Join the Safari, let's watch it grow. Battery Safari,
I mean, you can never talk too much about the Komodo. You should get some of the Komodo footage looping behind you.
yeah.
saving that money.
So while people start to flood into this, I guess you'll have footage to cut here.
Here, I'll get something up on the screen.
This is the Komodo. Mobile battery unit. 100 kilowatt hour of battery capacity with 18 kilowatt inverter. Level 2 EV charger. It's got all the same hookups as the Walrus. You got AC input, AC output, PV input, DC connection. So 11 kilowatt electric EV charger. So for some of those people who are like in Texas or Arizona, where you have like a lot of sun, and you have like a really large home, you have like 5-ton ACs, or you just have like basically like a big house that draws a lot of power. This could be the unit that competes with a lot of those higher end, like the Generacs, like the ones with the higher inverter system. This can compete directly with it. Now it is a little more industrial, but you could hook it up to the home if you needed to as well. Maybe some of you have a business where you can maybe use this for the business and for your home. This will take your whole home off the grid.
Oh, yeah.
Just this one. 100
Way-
kilowatt hour, 18 kilowatt inverter.
More power than you would need.
And then this one has 2 PV inputs, so you can get up to, what would that be, like 16 panels? The 550 watt panels that we have at 16, it's about like what, like 8,000 something? Kilowatts.
By the way, Rooster Bear says his system is 12 volts, 30 amps for the RV.
Okay, so we got 12 volts, is that inverter or battery?
I believe that's the inverter
Yeah, so
compatibility.
you got the 12 volt options on either the Owl, the Razorback. Those are like 12 volt
Yeah,
batteries.
I mean, out of those two, I would recommend the Razorback. It's a little bit better capacity. It's a newer system. Got a couple like nice features on it that the Owl doesn't have, such as a display screen that shows the current capacity. Things like that that you'll find helpful. And it's at a very good price too.
Yeah, so maybe take a look at those, Mr. Bear. If you go to the RV category on our website, you'll find the 12 volt section. And then there's a couple different Owls. Just take a look at the kilowatt hour capacity. Probably going to be what's more important to sustain your appliances. And depending on what you like, just let us know here in the chat, and then Nick will write up an order for you.
Oh yeah, we got you. If anybody's getting a hookup, it's Rooster Bear.
Anybody else wants Rooster Bear hookups? You need to be on every single live chat ever.
Yeah, welcome.
Ever done.
Yeah. So welcome to anybody who's just joining us. My name is Nick. This is Brian. We're both streaming to you live from the BatteryEVO marketing office in Los Angeles, California. We are here to answer all your BatteryEVO questions. So whether you're looking for whole home off-grid systems like the BatteryEVO Walrus, Rhino, standalone battery like the Kong, or if you're looking for golf cart RV power, or even a giant battery tank like the Komodo, let us know your questions. We're here to help it all make sense to you. If you're at the beginning of your solar energy off-grid journey and just don't know where to get started, ask us anything. We are pretty knowledgeable about it. We have our technician in the room here who can really get into the nitty-gritty. So let us know what you need. We got you covered.
If you're new here, ask about the Easter eggs. If you're old here, you should know the Easter eggs by now.
We took a little hiatus from live streaming. We didn't do our live deals for a little bit, almost 3 months, while we were kind of building up a lot of Komodo stuff. Jeff Kaiser says, I'm having trouble with the battery management system on the 48 volt 100 amp battery. Okay, Jeff, I am going to shoot you our customer service number because they will be able to help you fix that battery management system way better than I would.
If you want,
But they-
yes, there's going to be a phone number that Nick will provide in the chat. If you need to get a deal and you're interested in our items, text the number you see up above on the screen. The 747-282-0539 number. Just say live stream or live deal or YouTube. Just something that references YouTube, but live, and then we can give you YouTube live pricing. So, everybody knows we give out good discounts for YouTube live pricing. It's only available during the live. Only available during the live. If you cut out the live, no more YouTube live. It's happened before. People will hit me up like at 2 a.m. and be like live deal, and I'm like,
Yeah, we are not live. We have run overnight live streams sometimes with like animations going, so maybe it was one of those days. And you know, on Black Friday we did the all-day live stream. So if there's a demand for that, we can do that again. For those of you who are new, the way that this works, I think Brian just explained it, but I'll do it again for any new viewers coming in. We're here to answer your questions. Anything BatteryEVO, we will help it make sense. And while we're live, only while we're live streaming, we got exclusive live stream deals. Brian and I have been authorized to lower the price of any item you might want to buy. It'll be lower than what you see on our website if you buy from us on the live stream. So that's your incentive to get from us while we're live. It's a significant discount. A lot of folks have bought off the live stream before. It's kind of the secret way to get the lowest price on a BatteryEVO product. So if you've been interested, you've been curious, thinking about maybe grabbing something, today's a good day to do it. If you got any questions, let us know. We'll help you out. We got just really good AI music playing in the background right now. So all about the rhinos, the walrus, all our batteries.
Ask about the walruses.
I feel like
So,
the plural of walrus should be walrus, but technically it isn't.
if anybody needs a walrus, let us know. We have limited units of the G4. All G3s are back ordered, but because they're back ordered, we dropped the price for people willing to wait. But if you call in during the YouTube live, I'll give you a better discount. No, text in during the live. I'll give you a better discount than what's available on the site. You just have to ask. If you don't ask any questions, me and Nick are technically failures.
I'm not technically a failure, but I am metaphorically a failure.
What's the opposite of technically? Like when you say something technically?
Praise God says, I want a King Kong 2 for my basement where my breaker box is located, but the weight and size make it almost impossible to get it down. Is it possible to take it apart temporarily?
That's going to be tricky. You cannot take it apart temporarily because it's already encased inside its casing.
What about Rhino 4?
That's what I was thinking. Was like, do you need the King Kong 2 because of the battery's capacity, or could we offer you something else like the Rhino 4? The Rhino 4 is also 48 volts.
I think the 48 volt Rhino 4 plus even maybe if we threw some kind of extension on it, you'd be able to get the same capacity at a similar price.
I think probably a little bit more capacity, and then YouTube live deal plus whatever's on the website plus price per kilowatt hour. I potentially match the price per kilowatt hour on the King Kong 2. Let us know what else. It's going to be tricky to get the King Kong 2 down there.
The Rhino 4 is a more compact system.
Yeah, the Rhino 4 will be better. How much kilowatt hour capacity do you need? Let us know in the chat. I think I will send Remember when we used to look at, we had Dubs look at what was that, like dolly thing that goes down the stairs?
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, the main thing is because the, sorry, just read this message. I'm so bad at multitasking.
Praise God. Regardless, text the number up on the screen so we have your number, and then let us know you want the King Kong 2. We'll text you from there. We'll let you know what the YouTube live pricing is on that unit or any other unit. Also, if it's the King Kong 2, you already have a 48 volt inverter. You need one. You're already good.
Yeah, let us know your current power needs, whether or not you're hooked up with an inverter already. We'll help figure out the best solution for you, and we'll make sure it's at a we'll go for at least as good as the King Kong 2's pricing per kilowatt hour, but maybe we can even do you better. We got the live stream deals here while we're live, so let us know.
DWW is asking if the King Kong 2 is rated for outdoors. No, the units are not rated for outdoors. They're not IP rated because they do have exposed ports. So if you're going to keep them outdoors, try to get one of those weatherproof sheds to put inside, and then you can just run the conduit out of it. But you don't want too much water or dust getting on the units. They're not rated for outdoors.
The Hill wants to know, do you still carry the Rhino 3?
We might have one or two, but you gotta text us in to check because we might not have more. But
Yeah.
it is compatible with the Rhino 4 if you have the Rhino 3 and you want more capacity.
Text us at our live stream number. We'll get it right here in this room. That's 747-282-0538. You can see it at the top of the screen there. We'll check that Rhino 3 inventory and get you a live stream price on it.
DWW for the built-in inverter, the King Kong 2 is just a 48 volt battery pack, but if you get the Pacific, that's a King Kong 2 with the Walrus inverter head, which creates an all-in-one system, so that'll be built-in inverter. That's Pacific or Pacific Pro. King Kong 2 is just the 48 volt battery. So anytime that you want a built-in inverter, that's the Walrus line. Anything that's not called the Walrus is not an all-in-one. And Praise God said they already got a King Kong 2 in their garage. It's just a challenge to get it down there. If you want a second one, Praise God, if you want a second one, just text us to that number. I'll give you the deal for
Yeah, we'll hook you up. Text us at that number. That's 747-282-0538.
I don't know what SOC percentage is, but the 48 volt batteries do work with the EG4 inverter, so you can pair the Rhino or the King Kong 2 or any of the other 48-volt batteries that we have to the EG4, it's just the terminal points. It's the positive and negative, wire those up, and then you get, you can make it now. Background music is louder than the microphone.
I'll turn down the music a little bit.
That's the first time I've heard someone say that they wanted it.
All right, music will be a little quieter now, guys.
Oh, state of
Thanks
charge.
for letting us know.
Okay, so the state of charge, it should show the state of charge. Yeah. I think it should communicate that part.
Yeah, our batteries can communicate
So
that.
it'll show it to you on our little display, and I believe the EG4 will also read it. Rhino 4, King Kong 2 will be best to work with EG4 inverters. Anybody who's just chatting with us now and is considering a battery pack, text the number on the screen. Even if you're not ready to buy just a second, just text us with the word YouTube Live. Otherwise, we don't know where you came from, and tomorrow or the next day when you want to get that deal, we won't be able to give it if you don't have.
Yeah, as long as you text in that you're coming from live stream today, we can lock in a live stream discount for you for the future too. You just got to engage on that text number while we're live. For those of you who are just joining, my name's Nick. This is Brian. We are here to answer all your questions from BatteryEVO. We both work in the marketing department and pretty knowledgeable about these bad boys, so we want to help you understand the products better. We'll help answer any of your questions. We'll give you advice on going off grid. We'll give you exclusive live stream discounts that are only available while we're live to get the products lower than their web pricing. You just got to text that number. Let us know you're coming from the live.
Officer says the display on ours for the batteries, it'll show the volt. I think now they upgraded, and I think it does show the percentage too.
The Razorback shows a lot of information.
On the little thing, right? So it might have the percentage and the voltage. So I remember the old ones just showed the voltage, but it should. Now again, if anybody's texting, we're not going to be able to tell you what the live pricing is over the YouTube because we're not allowed to promote it because we get in trouble. So you have to text the number on the screen to find out what that is. Everything's already discounted. There's already discount codes on the site. There's already special pricing, but this is YouTube live deals. So if anybody's been here before, you know that that's how you're going to get the best price. So text for that live deal to find out what that price is. If you want a quote, let us know that you want the quote for today because those quotes will expire. So let us know if you are or are not ready to purchase. If you're not ready to purchase, we could potentially hold the quote for you, but you gotta text us that you came from the live.
If we have any repeating viewers on the stream right now, you will know that we have literally been yelled at on stream before for giving out too good of discounts. To the point where our sales manager came in here and literally yelled at me on stream for giving away what I called the Florida man hookup to a fellow Florida man. I'm originally from Southwest Florida. So,
if you're from Florida, Nick's from Florida, you get the Florida man discount. So,
I'll take some heat for you guys though today. I don't mind.
If you're not from Florida or you're not from California, let us know what state you're from and if your state's better than California. And Nick will move there.
Joe S. says, do you have an inverter with more solar input than the Walrus, looking for 6,000 watts plus?
Okay, so the tricky thing about this part is that our system, Walrus system, it's based on the PV inputs. So you could technically get more solar into it based on your wiring setup. But we usually recommend up to about 4,500 to create an efficient system because you don't really want to overload it. And my question to you, Joe, is what do you need the 6,000 watt system for? Is that what your home requires? Or is that just kind of where you're at? Or is that the solar system you already have? Give us a little more details. The inverter that can technically take more is the Komodo pack because it has 2 PV inputs. And I do know that you can replace the MPPT on the Walruses on your own to get more solar if you needed it. So Joe, what are you trying to power? Do you already have PV solar? Are you grid tied, off grid? What's your situation? The evangelist is like, this is John. John, what are you trying to power?
Hi, John.
John is the most formal person in this whole chat.
Thank you for introducing yourself first, John. I appreciate that. I'm Nick.
What's your question, John? This is John just comes in, is like, this is John, and then doesn't. And then if it's Andy saying, please hold,
Yeah, John
then I'm gonna lose it.
says please hold, so I'm just looking over to make sure this isn't Andy.
No, it's not me.
Okay.
It's not me. I was just one of the watching.
John says typing. No problem. We'll keep an eye out for your question, John.
Evangelist also feels like the username Tommy would use. Suspicious. Lakeland, shout out Andy Burns. It's Andy
Lakeland,
Burns,
shout
Andy
out.
Walton. See, now I'm paranoid.
Hey, don't stop saying phone.
I got some
Sorry.
friends from Lakeland. I'm from Naples, Florida, Andy.
Lakeland is Florida?
Yep.
Alright, Andy. If you needed a battery pack, this is your chance to get a Florida Man discount.
Yeah, I have, like I said, I've gotten in trouble for giving away what I have called the Florida Man discount, which was a really good version of our exclusive live deals, because Florida Man to Florida Man, I gotta treat you right. I've gotten in trouble before, I'll do it again. So if you're interested in a product today, Andy, let me know, and we will help you guys out.
I think we might be all out of Rhino 3s, by the way. If
Gee.
anybody needs a Rhino 3 pack, let us know in the chat. We might probably have some ordered in, I don't know.
GWW says Orlando in the house.
Everybody's from
It's the
Florida.
Florida chat. What's up, gang? Where'd I get that dorky jacket?
At
Or
the
where'd
mall,
Brian?
Dude.
That has to be Andy.
Huh? What? I'm literally working.
Stop, I said I'm done.
Are you? What is that? One of the Atlas ones, or is that your
this is,
McLaren one? Yeah,
it's
that's
the
McLaren
McLaren
one. Well, let us know whose jacket you think is dorky, me or Brian, and we'll tell you where it came from. Joe S says, I have a large house off-grid I'm building, looking at 20 to 24 kilowatt peak load from the house and looking for solutions to refill the batteries. 1,000 kilowatt per month is expected usage.
Right, okay. 1,000 kilowatt? It's kind of a lot.
A megawatt a month. Brian's jacket.
A megawatt a month. Have a large house off-grid I'm building, looking at 20 to 24 kW peak offload from the house and looking to solutions to refill the battery. 1,000 kilowatt.
What about the Pacific Pro?
That's what I was thinking. Pacific Pro is going to give you 62 kilowatt hour. If you're running 1,000 kilowatts per month. Joe, this has already all been calculated for you like beforehand, or this is what you're estimating you'll need? Let me do a little bit of math. You're running 1,000 a month. 30, yeah, okay, so look, if he's running 1,000 kWh for the month, it's only about 33 kWh daily. So honestly, even just the G4 alone would probably be a good start. The G4 starts at 23 kilowatt hour. In this situation, well, if you're doing 20 or 24 kilowatt peak load from the house, that's the entire off-grid system. Are you running? How are you wiring this off-grid system? It can't all be in series. That'll be a very high voltage load. What solar panels? I have a lot of questions. Joe, what is the wattage and voltage of the solar panels you plan to use? I mean, I know you're gonna go 20 to 24, but what's the voltage of those panels? Maybe you could split it up into 2 different systems and then run them to 2 different walruses and then power up different parts of the home. What's the square footage of the home as well? Joe, you seem like somebody who really needs something like this. Text that number up on the screen and we'll let you know what units you can get. Hook you up on anything.
Andy Burns says, trying to figure out what I need before hurricane season. Very smart to be planning ahead.
Nick would know better.
Oh, I've been through several. Irma, all the works. So, Andy, if you could let us know the size of your home, kind of like what your setup looks like, and we'll get you started. It helps to know the size of your home, about how much power you use, if you know that. If not, we can give general estimates based on the size. If you already have an inverter or not would affect what you would need, because regardless of if you have the battery, you'll need the inverter to run it out. We have all-in-one systems like the Walrus that are both. We also have standalones like the Rhino that's just the battery. So if you could provide a little bit of detail,
Yeah.
we will help you out.
Don't be afraid to write out a paragraph if you need to. And then again, the responses are going to be a little more delayed because the YouTube live feed takes a second. Brian Killsberg's still in the chat.
The storage capacity of the Komodo is 100 kilowatt
And
hours.
then I need a bat. Is that real or is that? What's the storage capacity of the Komodo? It's 100 kilowatt hours. There's people jumping in. There's like use funneling in. So if you're landing here and
Yep.
you were on our website and considering a battery pack, just text the number on the screen. You don't have to stay on the chat. As long as you text that number on the screen, you can leave the chat and go get your deal. So you don't have to be here the whole time if you don't want to be. If you want to banter with Nick, then yeah, you can stay.
Hey, let's banter. Let's do it. GWW says, same here on that Hurricane prep. Thinking 2 G4s, or is it better for King Kong 2? Typically run 60 kilowatt hour daily and higher in the summer. I mean, you can't go wrong with the King Kong 2 as long as you have the proper space for it. It's a large unit. If you're looking for a little more of a compact option, I would go with the 2 G4s.
That's you, dang it. Alright, so yeah. Okay, so Joe says that it's gonna get 4,500 square foot home. I would consider, Joe, in this situation to get 2 or more units, the 2 sub panels, and split the loads between the home. That's a large home. You're gonna have a pretty strong solar system. The only inverter that currently has enough power to sustain more panels is the Komodo. You have a large home, I could potentially get you a residential rebate if you would want the Komodo for your home. Regardless, text the number you see on the top, the 747-282-0538 number, and then we'll let you know how you can get that. And then GWW is trying to get ready for hurricane season. When you had to experience hurricanes, how long can the power be out?
At the worst, you could lose power for a week
A week easy?
or more. In Naples, I've had my neighborhood go down for about a week during Irma. So if that's the case, you want the solar panels too, for sure.
Yeah, so you could potentially also get some PV solar panels. Now, during a hurricane, maybe there's not that much sun out, but as long as there's UV light, it will collect some solar.
I mean, when you lose power like that, it's all like afterwards. So you'll have the hurricane pass
But the sun
through, it's
back out.
really bad, and then the sun typically comes back out for the next week, but
Got it.
you're out of power. So
Okay.
that's actually a good scenario to have solar panels.
Okay, there it is. So GWW, probably the biggest thing for your power outage protection would be PV solar. And then while the hurricane is going on, the battery backup should sustain you. The G4 does have 23 kilowatt hour. Oh, he is thinking 2 G. Oh, you'll have plenty of power. If you're out of power with no sun for like, let's say 2 to 3 days with 2 G4s, you should be okay if you're just running the bare necessities. Don't run central AC systems. Don't run any electric water heaters. Just keep it to the bare minimum during the storm. And then praise God, you offer the Walrus G4 or the Pacific Pro separately. The G4 and the Pacific Pro are 2 different units. They're both all-in-one Walrus units, but the Pacific Pro, stronger inverter, more battery capacity. The King Kong 2 has 2 Anderson cables coming out the top. Yes, those are Anderson cables, not for PV. Those are for DC connections to parallel the battery packs and to wire it to an inverter. So the 2 you see is 1 Anderson cable goes to the inverter. The other one would go to a second King Kong 2 to get double the capacity. So the King Kong 2s are not all in one. It does not have an inverter. You cannot wire up solar panels. It needs an inverter. And then it's
GWW, how much solar would I need to recharge 2 G4s? You can recharge the G4 with 8 550 watt panels.
Yeah, the solar kits we have now, we have a 4-panel kit and an 8-panel kit. Both would be just fine. They're enough to recharge the unit, and then because the battery capacity is so high, when you use it at nighttime with no sun, you will not deplete it to zero. So you're just basically trickle charging whatever's left over. And then Evangelist says, I have the Kong 72 volt, 22 kWh coming with the Walrus 12, okay. I have a sub panel, can I power HVAC and 2 fridges? Yeah, 2 fridges and 2 TVs is no problem. The HVAC system, is that central AC? HVAC is always central AC, right? Or is that heating,
Believe so,
ventilation? Yeah. So for the HVAC, depending on the size of the unit. Now, if you're trying to do offload electricity to lower your power bills, you can put the HVAC on it. If you're trying to use for power outage protection, we would recommend don't use your central AC system because you'll drain out the battery.
John,
Most central AC systems will draw a lot of power.
That's a smart plan with the Texas incentive. We actually, whenever, because we'll ask people where they're located, and whenever somebody says they're in Texas, we tell them about that free nights that Texas does. That's such a good opportunity for peak shaving.
So
you definitely got the right idea.
So technically Kong 72 with the, okay, I see. So you could, let's just find out what's the size of the HVAC, Evangelist, and if we can figure that out, then we'll let you know whether or not to wire it to your Walrus system. Yeah, use the time of use for Texas because it's free energy at night. So collect as much energy as you can, use it during the day, pay zero power.
Joe S. says, thank you, I've contacted the number and we'll continue the conversation here. Yep, we are still ready to answer any questions you might still have, anything you want to talk about, we got you. Thanks for texting us in, we'll hook you up with the live stream discount there. For anybody who just joining us, Joe just texted us in to get that live stream discount. What that means is that while we're live, and only while we're live, we're able to offer our live stream viewers exclusive discounts. That goes lower than our website. Any of the sales that are already on our website will go even lower just for being on live stream. And that is while we're live, only while we're live, text us in, we'll lock it in for you. Even if you don't want to buy right this second, we can still give you the price and hold it for you. So be sure to take advantage of that. That's the number at the top of the screen there. That's 747-282-0538.
Yeah. We
John?
got a lot more renders and creatives now too, so if people want to talk about how to do the installs, I can just show you on the screen. It's relatively easy to do the install, but I do understand that like everybody's main electric panel is a little different. But traditionally, most electricians can do this install. We also, when we do our videos for the installation, it is general because everybody's panel is a little different, and we are the battery company, so we can explain to you the battery stuff. We're not going to be able to make you a detailed sub-panel or electrical panel wiring installation video because that probably won't be accurate for everyone. But the videos do have a general idea of how to do it. If you understand wiring and electricity, you can figure it out. Breaker, new breaker for the grid, wire it to the NEMA port, plug in your Walrus, charge from the grid, sub panel to route the energy away from the main electrical panel, generator port, breaker, and you put the breakers you want on that sub panel that you want to offload, and you get the power out of the battery pack. I have soft start for HVAC. Okay, that's a good start. That's a really, really good start.
Yeah, soft start helps
so
a lot.
I'm pretty confident you should be able to have it. Again, during the power outages, just turn off the breaker for the central AC because although the inverter can handle it, you'll deplete your battery pack really fast. 2,400 square foot with house with pool. Max monthly consumption is 2,000 kWh daily. Minimum 50 kWh. Max 8. Okay, so he's got a big system. 200 amp panel, standard service panel, nothing other than main utility service. Okay, Andy Burns has another question as well, but I don't know what it was. Oh yeah, it's leaking. Okay, all right, Andy. So you should also text the number up on the screen. But at the 2,000, you're gonna probably need something more like the King Kong 2 or the Pacific, because if you're running 50 kWh, in case you have a power outage and you want to run all those systems during the power outage, one King Kong 2 will deplete in about a day, in about 27, 28 hours. But again, you have extra luxury appliances in your house like pool, AC, or central AC, and other stuff like that during power outages. Do not what's it called? Do not have those on during the power outage. They'll deplete the power pack really fast. How much for the Komodo? The green one? For the Komodo, it's gonna run around retail at around $39,999, but we can offer some incentives to people who need it and want it.
We have the residential rebate on that Komodo. That really helps the
Yeah.
average consumer make it
We have
more
the
accessible.
residential and the American Business Grant, so both you can qualify for either or both. Got the G3 back in fall.
I got a G3 back in the fall, had an 8-hour outage in my 2,000 square foot all-electric house, and ran the whole thing. Battery only went down to 79%. I do have a soft starter on both pumps though. That's great. Love to hear that. Glad that it was able to help you out in that pinch. Great use case. I mean, we were just talking to people about the hurricane season and preparing for those outages, so there's a great example of it helping somebody out in a situation just like that.
Lucas, if you can do us a favor, go over either to our site or to our Google and like paste this chat in there and leave us a review. Maybe I can get a CST number to send you like an Amazon gift card or something. Yeah, so Sherwin is asking, have you treated, if I add an expansion pack, do you both charge off existing solar? Yes. So when you parallel them together, they'll pass the energy over to the next one, and then they'll kind of replete kind of together. Sherwin, if you need a G3 extension, please text the number on the screen. They are back ordered, but because they're back ordered, you can get them at a little bit better price. And if you have the live deal, I'll hook you up even more. You'll just have to wait, because I think estimated arrival for units will be around 810. But in that timeline, the prices are cheaper. Alright, Lucas, once you do that, let us know that you did do it, and then I'll see if the CS team can email you a gift card or something.
Thanks, Lucas. Yeah, we'll be sure to hook you up there. Make sure that you let us know how we can contact you after you leave the review. Did you just answered Sherwin's question?
Yeah.
G3. Can you use any of the other expansions for G3? Would the G4 battery be compatible?
No.
No?
They're running on different systems.
Yeah, we're still up.
Yeah,
I
we'll go
got
for a
your
while.
pitch deck though. I'll open it up and take a look.
Yeah, so certain parts in there. There's certain parts that have removable gifts.
Mhm.
You'll see what I did there is what we use for.
Great. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, so I'll be able to see sections where you
And then
created
if
them.
If you already have the battery
I'm
packs,
just gonna pump the top
and you have questions about it, go ahead and call
Somebody
this
today
number
really
so that they can help
Okay.
you out.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll
All these
come up.
technical questions and we'll just get
I'll
tied
just drop
up.
them in the deck, but you'll
Got
have
it.
access to that. It's all yours.
Okay, thanks.
I'm gonna put
Yeah, I'll
the
get those
chat
made for you.
again.
If there's any specific ones you want, like you mentioned the airstrip one, if there's any other specific images you got in
If
mind.
they get too
So
technical, it's gonna
we're
be
getting
difficult.
construction
Any troubleshooting,
right now.
it'll be
So I've
difficult.
got a
So
deck
call
by
the
the end of
CS,
the day. I
the
want to shoot
CS
this to
team,
their
they're
team.
going to
But
help you out
it'll
with
be,
that.
we're
If
doing
anybody doesn't
aerospace,
want
so there's the
text
airplane ones.
or
But this,
if anybody doesn't want to text or DM us or whatever,
Got it.
It just
call the
gets
number,
a
just tell them you're watching the live, they'll hook you up.
That's all I know. I
Praise
don't know.
God says the AI music
Okay.
is funny. It's all on
I'll pull
SoundCloud.
from some of
You wanna
my
listen to it, it's
personal
all
favorites of the
battery music.
imagery.
Nick made it.
Cool.
Nick made all of
Thanks,
the
Of course.
all the AI music, so if you like it or don't like it, let him know. I'm not responsible for your like or dislike of the AI music.
Yeah, I wrote some lyrics, put them through AI.
Christopher
We live in a
Sokas
fun
said,
time.
Bought 2 Rhino 3s. Any idea when carts might be back in stock? Sudar, you have any idea when we might have Rhino carts? Like the cart? Yeah. No, I think they already have Rhino 3s.
We were happy to answer any golf cart batteries. I see Brian give you customer service line if you're looking for
Yeah,
tech
just some of
help.
the golf cart questions, but they get sometimes kind of hard.
It's true.
So the tech's a little better.
You'd think that it would be harder to answer like the solar off-grid questions, but sometimes the golf cart ones are the trickiest ones. I bought 2 Rhino 3s. Any idea when the carts might be in stock? What extension batteries work with the Walrus G3?
You're gonna have to get the G3 extension packs for the G3.
Can you use like one of our standalones with it? Like, is there a compatible one?
It has to go based on voltage. So the Walrus G3 runs on a 72 volt system. So you would need to match that. So that's why the Pacifics, you can run a Rhino 4 or whatever, because that's 48 volt. G3, G4, you cannot use anything else. It's got to match system voltage. How do they hold up in the cold? I live in Northeast and it gets cold here in the winter. We do sell in the Northeast. The batteries do well during the cold. Same thing if you're going to keep them outside, put them in a little shed. If you keep them inside, it's technically room temperature, so they'll be better. But they should be fine during the winter. Geronimo, what state do you live in, and what are you trying to power? What's your plan for power? Let us know what your plan for power is. If you want to talk about off-grid and conspiracy theories, that's what we make probably best at.
It's a good time of year for conspiracy theories.
Tariffs just kicked in. So if anybody's following the news, you know that we're going to experience an increase in goods and services because of the tariffs. So let us know if you need anything right now, because everything that's in stock will not be affected by tariffs.
Right now we're good, but I mean, I can tell you prices will be going up this year.
Prices will be going
so
up.
I know a few of you folks mentioned wanting to prepare for hurricane season. I would strongly recommend buying
Setting it
now.
now.
I recommend buying from us, but even if you went with one of our competitors, I would recommend doing it sooner rather than later, because the tariffs will be raising prices across this industry for sure.
Mike Kimball says, can you charge through grid instead of solar panels? Yes, so you have both options. You can charge through the grid on the main electric panel. So you can see in the video behind me, I mean, it's barely moving now, I know. But you can connect a NEMA port to your main electrical panel to charge from the grid. So you'll pull from the grid and it'll charge the battery pack, and then you can charge and discharge whenever you need to, whether that's nighttime, daytime, peak time. So you can do both. You can charge from the grid, you can charge from a generator, you can charge from PV solar panel, you can charge from solar grid tied panels. Mike, what are you trying to power? Obviously it's probably home, but what's the size of your home and what state do you live in? Geronimo's in Connecticut. We've sold to people in Connecticut.
Yeah, all of that'll
I think
help us.
Connecticut has the highest energy.
Connecticut does have very
Right?
high energy. It was one of the highest ones as
It's
far
one of
as
the
energy
highest
cost. Geronimo, I don't know if Brian already said this. I wouldn't. Whatever battery you get, it can hold up in the cold. It can hold up in the cold just
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
We've sold to Connecticut lots of units. And
Yeah,
for any
nice.
battery, I would overall recommend to make sure not to put it just directly outside, and especially without a cover. You'll have a
Yeah.
better experience if it is isolated from the weather.
Christopher's asking if there's anything else needed besides the cables to connect. So if you have a solar edge inverter or any other 48 volt inverter, our 48 volt battery packs have the cable that you'll need to connect to any 48 volt inverter. 48 volt inverters will have the positive and negative terminals, the black and the red, what do you call them?
Positive, negative.
The little stubs. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
The terminal points.
yeah,
Stubs.
yeah.
There's like a name for them. You just have to click those in, and then you just screw them on, and then the Anderson cable connects to the battery pack. So super simple to plug in 48 volt battery packs to any 48 volt inverter. There's nothing else you need, Christopher.
Solar panels. Geronimo says they have solar panels.
Grid tied?
That's great. That'll help you. So you probably want to do either a solar grid tied setup.
You can connect, so
Yes.
right now, Geronimo, the way it works is if you have grid-tied solar panels, all the solar energy goes into your main electrical panel, and that's what's powering your home. So you're going to create a breaker on the main electrical panel that will pull that solar and move it to the battery pack. So if you have grid-tied solar panels, yes, your grid will operate as normal with the solar. When the solar's powering your home, you'll take that power and put it in the battery pack. So then, it's pretty easy to do, Geronimo. It's the same thing as the grid-tied install. You just need the breaker to come from the solar. And then Evangelist says, Brian, using the Walrus 3 with a Kong 22 kilowatt hour, where exactly should I plug the internet connection cable who allows the inverter and the battery to communicate? What is CAN bus on the battery? What is CAN bus on the battery? A Okay, so when you wire up the two units, there on the back of it, there's a DC connection. It's like a gray Anderson connection. You connect that between each other. The communication ports are also on the back of the inverter. It's like maybe like a lid. You've got like a screw, like maybe 2 screws. It comes off, and you'll see they kind of look like Ethernet ports. You can wire those up there. It's on the back. The 48-volt batteries have internal heaters for safe charging and temperature below freezing. So the batteries do have a BMS system to protect the batteries from overheating or, I know what he's saying. The 48 volts have internal heating, I see, because some batteries promote like self-heating. Lithium batteries tend to run hot regardless. So the fact that they'll self-heat, they will. Again, try to keep them in indoors or inside a shed. Internal heaters for safe. Where are you at, Paul? What area are you at? We have sold in areas that do get that cold, which is the short answer is technically no. They don't have internal heating. But traditionally speaking, lithium batteries do work well in the cold, and as they run, they get hotter.
Lithium batteries can handle cold very well.
Run off the battery daily to save money off the electricity. Yes.
This is a great question. There are so many ways that you can use your battery to save money on electricity. So if you have your solar panels already, you can run your solar energy into your inverter on your battery, fill up your battery with power, and run off of that to be 100% off grid. That way the grid's not funneling your electricity back. You'll be keeping it all and using it all. That's how you lower your power bill the most effectively. You can also, with the battery, use peak time shaving. So every electric company, the rates will vary throughout the day. During times of day when the most energy is being used, it gets more expensive. During times of day, usually the middle of the night, when less is being used, it gets cheaper. So you can set we'll use the Walrus for example, you can set your Walrus to charge up when electricity's cheapest and power your house with that stored energy when it's most expensive. That's one way that anybody can save money with a Walrus, even if you don't have solar panels. But since you do, just get your solar panels right into the inverter on it, and it will power you up off grid. We got a couple other questions that have come in. Praise God says, I'm in Rhode Island, have the King Kong 2 with the Walrus G3 inverter in my garage and haven't had a problem. My garage is connected to my house. It's the gas station for my Ford F-150 Lightning. Awesome. Our CEO drives one of those. Great truck. Paul says that he is in Minnesota. Praise God says, I have 20 Renogy 200 watt shadow flux panels connected to a 30 amp input. I haven't upgraded to a 50 amp plug yet. Very cool, very cool. You know, if you do end up needing more panels at any point, I know you expressed some interest in maybe grabbing a Rhino or something like that. We got solar panel kits as well, where we sell all of our solar panels. They're 550 watt panels. We sell them at wholesale pricing, so that's actually a really, really cheap way to get panels compared to like an installer.
You guys' messages, but remember that the YouTube live feed is a little bit delayed, so if you want faster responses, text the number on the screen, let us know you want a live view, and those come directly to us right here, so I can see your messages. I can see your messages coming in if you're texting us. So if you want some fire one-liners or a good deal, just text that number. I have 20 Renogy 200 watt shadow flux panels.
Shadow Flux is a cool name.
Shadow Flux, we should have came up with that.
That's a good marketing move.
And a 30 amp input. I haven't upgraded to a 50 amp plug yet. Okay, if anybody wants to know, maybe we should drop the materials listing. The Walrus pages will have a small section that says materials list. It's like a link to it's like a PDF. But then on there's links to like Amazon, so you can see where to get the 50 amp generator ports or the 50 amp Evo ports. You get them on Amazon, they're pretty cheap. I wish we sold them here, but we don't right now. Internet cable, that's one for you. On one port to connect on the
Hey Chris, you have the branding guide for Komodo?
Yeah, so
Could you shoot that to Bryn?
Sir,
Thanks.
the
Bryn,
internet communication
if you want to just drop it in the marketing
on the
slide,
battery
you can.
packs or on the inverters, go where? Where do they connect to? to your router. The internet communication ports on the, you know what I'm talking about? What do you connect those to? You don't connect that to the inverter to battery, right?
Larry Smith is in Florida, the
So they're asking
Sunshine
where you
State.
connect it.
So
On
we got a
what
lot
port
of
to
Florida.
connect
We
to the
got a lot
battery.
of Florida men in here today, myself
Oh,
included.
that was
I'm from Naples, Florida.
Sorry. I'm so used to us always having the YouTube right there. No. So it's the Kong all-in-one. 72-volt Kong all-in-one. So he's asking where do they connect the communication port, from where to where?
Back up the inverter, we're connected to the 155 port.
It's not the B175 port, that's the one that connects.
Just unscrew that part. Behind the panel.
And then you connect it to the Ethernet port?
Yes.
And then where does the other end connect to? To the battery?
The battery on the side.
The connection ports are just on the where the Anderson connections are. You gotta unscrew that cap and you'll see the connections and you wire it from the inverter to the battery pack. They should be close by to each other. And what is CAN bus on the Kong battery? They're asking what is CAN bus on the battery. I think it's like written on there. CAN and BUS. That's what that is?
And RS45.
Yeah.
Two type of port. You can connect them. Either on one of them. If it's one battery, then you can directly connect to the
So just connect it to the other one. But they're asking what is CAN bus on the CAN on the battery. That's what the question is. What is CAN? CAN BUS on the battery, on the Kong battery. I think it's probably like what's on like the letters on the ports, I think. Well, what is it?
Some of the inverters, they are only recognized one of time. That's why.
Oh, so it's like there for whatever you might need
Yes. That's why.
for another inverter. Okay, so I think that those CAN bus connections on the Kong battery are in case you're wiring it up to a 40-volt inverter that's not ours, and you might need one of those ports. You might not need to use those for that inverter. You might not need to use them at all. Praise God says roof is full, 30 amp is the input plug. I use the materials list to purchase the part, and I have to get it installed. Cool. Nick, when you talk to others, if you need, it would help to follow Brian better. Okay? We just got like a mic and it just all the sound just kind of goes into this same system. But that's what the banter's like here at BatteryEVO, so sorry.
I'm a busy fella.
We like the banter, so if we talk over each other, we're sorry, but it's just kind of
Oh, of course, Joe. No worries. I'll mute my mic. When I talk to other, you might still be able to hear me because Brian and I are in the same room. But it is a good note. Definitely want to not get in the way of Brian's battery knowledge.
If you guys just want to talk about other stuff that's not batteries, just drop it in the chat.
Yeah, we'll talk anything.
And sometimes when we don't talk about batteries, the users themselves become friends because you tend to find out that a lot of you have a lot more in common than you have different. Everybody in this chat is interested in off-grid, in battery backups, in battery systems. So who was those two people, remember? They ended up becoming friends.
Yeah, I don't remember
And they
their
were
names
answering
off the
each
top of
other's
my head.
questions.
But yeah.
So even if it's like, I don't know, what we would like talk about like cars or whatever. Just say something in the chat so the banter continues. If the chat dies out, honestly, we'll just kind of kill the stream and then nobody can get their YouTube live deals. So if you're trying to get a YouTube live deal, text the number on the screen, say the word live, and we'll, in case the stream cuts out, you can still get your live deal. If you don't do that, hit us up later.
It's been a good stream, high engagement from all you guys. Thank you all for your questions. It's awesome. Love having folks to talk to when we do this. For anybody who's maybe just joining the stream, to get you guys up to speed, my name's Nick. This is Brian. We stream pretty regularly here at BatteryEVO. We took a little hiatus, but we're back now, bringing those live stream savings back. So the way this goes is we answer all your BatteryEVO questions. If you're just getting started on off-grid or anything else, we'll help you understand what you're getting into and how to approach it in the smartest way. And while we're live, only while we're live, we got those live stream discounts. All you got to do is text us in at that number at the top of your screen, 747-282-0538. We'll get your text here in this room. Let us know you're coming from the live stream, and we'll give you a deal that is lower than anything you see on our website, even lower than the current sales running on our website. It's the secret way to get the best price on a BatteryEVO product is with the live stream. John says, please, what is the difference between the Walrus G3 and G4?
The main differences are the inverter. So the inverter is stronger on the G4. It's now been rated up to 15 kVA, and it's got 23 kilowatt hour battery capacity. The battery capacity is about the same, just 1 more kilowatt hour, but the inverter. So if you have larger AC systems or higher power draw items, you might want to upgrade to the G4. Most small and mid-sized homes can get away with the G3. For backup and low cost, the G3 is better. If you really care about offloading some of those high appliances, upgrade to the G4 is more fun. So it just depends on what you value, whether it's just power outage backup protection for regular everyday stuff, or if you're really trying to do an off-grid multi-appliance unit, then you might want to consider paying more for the G4's inverter.
Praise God says the app needs some work. I can get it connected to my G3, but can't get a live status.
Yeah, so the thing with that is that the app is pretty much just designed to just monitor the battery pack. It's not going to give you real-time updates. I know that a lot of the other batteries on the market will have a more sophisticated app and service system, but to keep ourselves cost effective, we're not super feature rich, but we have the best price per kilowatt hour in the market. So to be able to get the biggest battery packs for your home and a good inverter to power it all, but the apps and like the communication between Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, they're not super high end.
I would like to say that we will have some app updates down the line, and I will be sure to keep all you fine folks updated when that happens.
Yeah.
Specifically with the Komodo too, we want to do some upgrades.
If anybody knows like some good app developers, put them in the chat. We'll call them, we'll figure it out. So Cheer Smoke says, will you ever support running in parallel for higher output? On the inverters, maybe at some point, yeah, they have tested out some devices to try to do it. But let's just say in the short term, not right now. The thing is most of the time you'll find you don't really need that strong of an inverter for most small to mid-sized homes. Now, if we had a very, very powerful inverter, you would drain out the battery very fast. So you tend to see, even with the Tesla Powerwall items and the other ones, that the inverters are properly allocated to let the batteries last a good amount of time. Because let's say, for example, we had a 20 kilowatt inverter on a 22 kilowatt hour battery pack, you would drain out the whole battery pack now. Right? So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like you would actually realize if you looked at what your house uses, you're not using that many high power drives. Maybe besides a 5-ton AC per home. Besides that, there's not really appliances in the home that are drawing that much power. If you still needed higher output, you don't need to parallel the inverters. You can use 2 sub-panels to offset the load onto 2 different inverters, so you basically create a more efficient system. To your smoke, what kind of appliances do you have in your home? How large is your home? How are you trying to do your setup? What appliances are you using? You probably find out you don't need more than what the G4 has. If you do, we have Pacific Pro and we have Komodo, both of which I can get you incentives for. What are you trying to power, Tier Smoke?
Tier Smoke says, is it okay to charge via third-party solar charge controller? You can, just make sure that the voltages match. Anytime you combine something like that with one of our batteries, the most essential thing you need to do is double check that the voltages match each other. So 48V to 48V.
Trickier. I think technically the answer is no.
No?
No. So in this situation for third-party SEC, that means you have a solar charge controller. So you have solar going into that. That's probably going to some type of inverter. you're gonna want to wire up a 48-volt battery to that inverter to then, yes, you can. But you can't technically run another solar charge controller into the Walrus system because the Walrus system already has MPPT for PV solar, or you're gonna have to use grid tie. So you use a 50 amp AC inputs. So you're not gonna go third-party solar charge controller to PV or AC. They just don't match up.
John says, thank you for making this more affordable. Peak shaving is the new solar. Yeah, you can save so much money with peak shaving. I love explaining that to people who hadn't heard of it. And of course, at BatteryEVO, we pride ourselves on having the lowest price per kilowatt hour of storage on the market. So if you go compare us to any of our competitors, you'll see that per storage capacity, we always have the lowest price per storage. That's what we do here.
That John's making, it's like, let's say you were talking to a solar guy who wants to do a grid-type solar on your home. You don't necessarily need it. If you put a battery pack or a Walrus battery pack instead of the grid-type solar, you're gonna save money on the install, and you'll still do what the solar's intended to do. You'll be able to peak shave. And then later down the line, you could do PV off-grid solar, so you don't have to pay for a really expensive solar install. And then GWW is asking if the battery on the Walrus Pro is the same as the King Kong. The battery on the Walrus Pacific is the same as the King Kong 2. The Walrus Pro is not. They run different system voltages. Now they do match in kilowatt hour capacity, or they're similar, but short answer, no, they're not the same. They're two different system voltages. But if you get the Pacific, that's a King Kong 2 with a Walrus G3 inverter. If you're getting a Walrus Pacific Pro, that's an all-in-one 62 kilowatt hour battery pack plus inverter all-in-one system. So you can't parallel King Kong 2s to Pacific Pros. They're not the same. Tier Smoke, let us know where you're at and what you're trying to power. So we can tell you more a little about the setup. Again, even if you don't really need the answer, just asking the question, it might help somebody else. So we just rifle off the answers.
Tier Smoke says, thank you guys for the answers. It really helps, of course. Happy to help. That's why we do this. If you have any other questions, let us know. And if you want to chat about anything not battery related, we can do that too. For anybody who's just joining us, I see we got a good amount of viewers in the stream right now. For anybody who's just joining, my name's Nick. This is Brian. We are streaming to you live from BatteryEVO HQ in sunny Los Angeles. We're here to answer all your questions, whether you're looking for a whole home off-grid system, a system for your golf cart, for your RV, or you're looking for an all-terrain battery tank like the Komodo. Let us know any curiosities you might have. We will help you get started. If you're just starting your off-grid journey, I know there's so many questions you might have, so many things to figure out when you're at the very beginning of that. We can make it a little easier if you tell us the size of your home, what appliances you're looking to power, for how long, things like that. We'll help you get started. Larry Smith says, I don't know what system will power my home. I'm trying to understand charge on, off peak hours and some solar charging combined. So you can do both methods combined. The way that you'd want to do that is every home that does a setup like this, you'll want to put a sub panel and a generator port in the home. Real quick, John K says, when do G4s come out? G4s are already out and we have been selling them like crazy. We actually only have like 10 in stock right now because we've been selling our stock. So if you're looking for a G4, please shoot us a text while we're live here. We offer the exclusive live stream discounts only while we're live at that number, 747-282-0538 at the top of your screen. Text us there for a G4. We'll give you a low price. You can get one of our last ones until the next batch comes. So back to you, Larry. You'll need a sub panel in your home, which is separate from your electrical panel, and you will run your AC 50 amp extension cable from your main electric panel into your Walrus. to charge it up with the peak shaving. Once you know what those hours are, you can program your Walrus when to charge and discharge from your grid. And then you'll run a 50 amp extension cable out of the Walrus into your sub panel, which will run power back into your home. And you will connect your solar energy, you can connect directly into the inverter of the Walrus. So that way your Walrus is always charging with solar as long as there's sun hitting your panels. And during those peak hours, you'll take your home off the grid and power it with your solar energy combined with whatever energy you're pulling from the grid during the lower electricity hours. So short answer, yes, you can combine it. And we actually recommend people to do that. It's usually a very efficient way to get savings and consistent power. Hope that helps. If there's any other questions you got, Larry, let us know. John K, be sure to text us in about the G4. It is out, and in the world, lots of people got their G4s. You could be next, and you'll probably get it at a lower price than they did if you text during this live stream. GWW says, thanks for the answers, gents, no problem. If anybody else has any other questions, let us know. If you're just joining, it's the BatteryEVO live stream. We are here to answer your questions and help you get started on your off-grid journey.
Alright, I can see your messages coming in. A couple of things that people are asking still is like, you can't parallel the inverters to each other. I know that there's some systems out there that do it, but ours don't do it as it stands, because the inverter is connected to the battery pack right below. You're not going to be able, you cannot parallel our inverters together, but you can wire up two sub-panels, right? If you have a large home over 3,000 square foot and you have a whole bunch of breakers, you can offload each breaker to each sub-panel, like around 200 amps per sub-panel. Put a generator port and have two different Walruses so you can offload the energy this way. You cannot parallel the inverters to each other. There's no port or connection on them to do so. It's not a feature right now that does it. But if you, let's say you get a G4, G3, you already have plenty of output power. If you really need way more output power, offloading it to two different sub-panels might seem like a hassle, but if you compare 2 units of ours, the inverter plus the battery pack versus any other inverter in the market that can parallel to each other, you're going to pay like about a third of the price. So I know that there's products out there that you can parallel the inverters. If that's the situation you're in, you're probably, I think the EcoFlow can do it, but their inverters are like 7 kW.
And their
So
battery
you can parallel
capacity
to
is
get them stronger, but
significantly
you need
lower.
like 4 of them. And so at that point, you're paying like 20 grand for the system. So just remember this. I know that's a lot of people have asked about this because they want a very, very strong inverter. The thing to try to figure out is how much power are you using daily? What appliances are you using? There's a good chance you're not exceeding over 12 kW at a continuous rate. It's just probably not happening. I mean, maybe if you have like an electric heater, like water heater, maybe, but nothing really runs at a continuous rate that high. Besides maybe a 5-ton AC system, the G4 can handle that with a soft starter. Again, you probably be depleting the battery pack pretty fast. So PV solar will be the solution to offset the load. When you use PV solar, you can use the solar energy to power the home while simultaneously trickle charging the battery pack. You can also tie it to the grid, use grid power plus battery pack power to offload the energy. So there's multiple ways to offload the energy. Paralleling the inverters is not a feature. Price was so good, I was nervously waiting for it to show up. Keep on tweaking whether we got the 13 videos. Yeah, so remember, live pricing is available during the live. So if you've already bought a pack, let us know that you're a returning customer. That'll give us some incentive to give you a little bit more pricing, a little bit better pricing. But it's just available during the live. My system will allow it while the live is on. And you can approve any discount during the live. So message in to find out what the pricing is.
Can you parallel the Pacific Pro with the King Kong 2?
No, you can do Pacific with King Kong 2. You cannot do Pacific Pro with King Kong 2 as it stands right now because they're different voltage systems. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Pacific Pro is GWW, how much battery capacity do you need? Are you trying to get over 100 kilowatt hour battery capacity? I recently bought a 72 volt call and also still my another product that basically use it at back power and power and possibly use your iPhone app. You can use, yeah, you should, if it has the Walrus inverter head, if you have an all-in-one, you can use the BatteryEVO app. Again, like we said earlier, it doesn't have a whole lot of communication access, but it will show you the voltage and the state of charge of the battery pack. You're not going to be able to change any settings through the app. There is an app you can use. If I hit an electrician, don't hit anybody. To install, do you give support to that electrician? Yes, if an electrician calls us in at the main support line, not the line that we're texting here, the main support line on the phone, they can guide them through the install. We also have the YouTube videos. If they're a C10 electrician, this install should be very easy for them. It's the same thing as a gas or diesel generator backup.
We also do have an installer network, so depending on where you are, you could we could send out a BatteryEVO approved electrician. But like Brian said, it's a very simple process. Almost every electrician is familiar with this kind of install. Tear smoke.
Near the breaker on the G3, there's two big cables going to pound our ground. True? That sounds about right to me. The way everything is designed to just plug everything in. A ground cable to the little silver shiny ground hook was near the breaker. You have a G3 in here?
We should get a G3 down here, yeah.
I'm not sure
That'd be nice.
what's
Let me catch up on some of it. We got a lot of questions in, so let me catch up on some of these. I'll go through the quick ones. Mike T, are these battery cells LiFePO4? Some of them are, some of them aren't. You can find out on our website the specs for each individual battery. We have the chemistry listed on each one. But there are all-in-one systems that are LFP, LiFePO. There are also some that are NMC. So depending on what you're looking for, or if you want to know if a specific one is or isn't, we can answer that question for you. Scott says, why are our Walrus packs a lot cheaper than competitors? We cut a lot of costs in our manufacturing process that allow us to bring the savings to you. That includes our green energy methods, as well as some arrangements that we have with EV battery manufacturers that we work with, who allow us to source our batteries. What else we got? GWW. In the summers, I sometimes use over 100 kilowatt hours per day. Yeah, that'll definitely, if you're in a hot area,
what appliances are you using there?
It's probably your whole.
You have an electric vehicle.
Yeah,
People
maybe
who get over
EV.
that 60 kilowatt mark tend to have electric vehicles.
And probably that whole home AC.
Yeah.
John K says, sent a text also, would a hard start kit work the same as a soft start kit? Any suggestion for a good brand? I have a 2,000 watt motor.
Sent a text. Okay, cool. So, they're usually like on Amazon, like they'll. Where's that guy? That was that guy who made friends with the other guy, because he was the HVAC guy who recommended the soft starter he was using.
Mm-hmm.
I would just say go to Amazon and go get the reviews. I don't have one to suggest to you.
I think on our website we might have on our hardware list a specific soft start that's listed there, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, we've had people just search it up on Amazon, go with the best sellers, and we haven't had anybody report issues with that. I'm going to go back a second. I think I missed Tear Smoke's question here. We currently have an Ames 4K 48 volt IC with 15 kilowatt hours of DIY batteries, supported by a GL 11,000 generator. The goal is to get off the LP bottles heat needs. Your way of hooking up 2 panels should fix my needs. Awesome. If you have any questions about that, let us know. And if you're ready to move forward on a product, text us in at the number at the top of your screen to get our exclusive live stream discount. That'll be lower than the sales prices on the websites. Praise God says, anyone with Ford Pro Power on board, you can run the power from the truck to a G3 or G4's input. Doing so adds up to 131 kilowatt hours worth of capacity. Wow. That's actually really cool, praise God. We haven't tested that out here, but like I mentioned earlier, our CEO drives one of those Ford Lightning, so I think you just gave us a great video idea for how to charge up the Walrus using your car. It's very cool. Daryl says, I have 2 Hawk 2 batteries in my tiny home in the driveway for 5 years. There is a 1500 watt 24 volt solar array on the roof of the trailer. This runs the 10.1 foot cubed fridge and the 28.2 foot cubed in the house. Very cool, Daryl. That is awesome. If you're looking to expand that battery capacity, let us know. We got Hawk 2s in stock, and I made a TikTok ad for our Hawk 2s playing off of the Hawk 2 meme. So just wanted to throw that out there. Hawk 2, power that thing.
Did you answer the one about the manual transfer switch?
That just came in. Mike T
so-
says, is it safe to use with a manual transfer switch?
Yeah, you can. You can do a manual transfer switch. Just switch it over whenever power goes out. This is pretty easy to do. A lot of people set it up this way. Again, the Walrus G3 does have built-in UPS, so if the grid power cuts out, it will detect it and it'll turn on. But using a manual transfer switch to keep your breaker safe and everything is always it's just better for safety. You know, safety precautions. We got a lot of views. It's probably one of our best lives so far. Like,
Yeah, this has been a great one,
I
for
guess
sure.
the anticipation works. So if anybody wants a good deal, make sure you message in. We probably won't be live for too much longer. We're gonna take our dub and run with it. Or the 22 kWh essential batteries in stock. But the G3s, they are not in stock. They are back ordered right now. If you want good pricing on anything G3, text in right now because we lower the prices for people willing to wait on back order. When we get them back in stock, prices will go up. Remember, tariffs have just kicked into place. That's going to change a lot of the economics around the United States.
We can tell you for sure, across this industry of solar battery storage, prices will be going up this year when the tariffs hit us. So that's going to be affecting us and everyone else. So definitely, if you're looking to plan ahead for this year and thinking about getting one of these systems, now's a good time because the price is where we want it to be right now. Passport says, does the King Kong 2 communicate with EG4 inverters?
Yes, they do. You can connect them together to you can use any 48 volt inverter with our 48 volt battery packs. Okay, now, again, because they're not EG4 battery packs, maybe some of the features that the EG4 inverter has might not be fully applicable, but the fact that you can get the largest battery backup for that price and wire it up to your EG4, yes you can. Very simple to do. They all
Yep.
connect the same. All batteries connect the same. Your car batteries connect the same way as these 48 volt batteries. Positive and negative terminal points. Even your AAA batteries work that way, you know, it's just positive and negative to terminal points no matter what. So if you have a different inverter and you're questioning whether or not it'll work, it will because all batteries operate the same. Positive to negative, no matter what. Doesn't matter what kind of battery it is.
JB says, wow, great live. Technical stuff goes over my head. Great product. Thank you, JB. Appreciate that. If there's anything we can do for you specifically, please let us know, answer your questions, all that. And to anybody who's been listening for a while, if you found this live stream to be helpful, informative, even mildly entertaining, please drop us a like on the stream. It really helps us out in the algorithm to find more people like you who are into the off-grid lifestyle. Tells YouTube that we're doing a good job in this space. Also, if you really enjoy our content and you're interested in the products, consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. I make the video content around these parts, so you'd be doing me a solid by subscribing. If anybody's just joining us, this is that BatteryEVO live stream. My name's Nick. This is Brian. We are here to answer any and all questions BatteryEVO and give exclusive live stream discounts to people who text in from the live. Larry Smith says, what are the sizes from highest storage to lowest storage? Brian, you want to take that one? I gotta send some gifts to somebody.
you're texting in, I'm seeing your messages. So, which one was it? What are the sizes from highest storage to lowest? I'm going from high to low. So high to low, it's going to go Komodo battery pack at the high end at 100 kilowatt hour. Then it goes Walrus Pacific and Walrus Pacific Pro. Those both have 62 kilowatt hour battery packs, but different inverters. So one has a stronger inverter than the other one. Then you got Rhino 4, which is a 40 kilowatt hour battery pack. And then you got Walrus G4 at 23 kilowatt hour. And then you got Walrus G3 at 22 kilowatt hour. And then maybe a G2 if like anybody wants one of those. 13 kilowatt hour. And then we have other battery packs below that you can use for RVs or small storage sheds. So I'm seeing your messages. Just keep messaging in if you need it. If we cut out the live, we can still give you your live deal afterwards. If you still have questions, we can answer them there. So yeah, Larry Smith, what are you trying to power? What's your goal? Why do you need me to give you the whole catalog? Good stuff, guys. Very informative. My home project will incorporate 2 King Kongs, 3 charge controllers, and 60 panels.
That's a very cool project.
What's going to be the inverter you use for those, Daryl? Let us know.
Big
Are
power.
your inverters HF or LF? High frequency or low frequency? Siddharth, do you know that answer? Are inverters HF or LF? No, but he's asking if they are HF or LF. Can you find out? It's like a friend question. Well, figure it out, Tear Smoke. Why is this important to you? Are you looking at other inverters in the market that are giving you this information? I think that's also the thing that we should explain. Daryl's ask again. That's funny. We'll ask for the HF or LF in a bit. Daryl, what are you trying? What's your setup? What's going to be the inverter you use for those King Kong 2s? Need a video on grounding. I had to do a lot of learning when I disconnected the grid input for the first time and tried to charge my vehicle. I had to ground the inverter. Do you know about this? It says need a video on grounding. I had to do a lot of learning when I disconnected the grid inputs for the first time and tried to charge my vehicle. I had to ground the inverter.
Yeah, we actually recently shot a video for that. I haven't edited and published it yet, but I have footage of that process.
Alright, praise God. Dave has that video. He'll post it soon. Very fast at editing. Ask him if he knows he's in there.
I'm just so busy. There's so many videos. But I got you. I know the demands for it now, so I'll make it. I'll move it up the list. Jim Smith says generator port is in my non-air conditioned garage. Is there a concern with the temperature? That depends, Jim. What kind of climate are you living in? Hot weather, cold weather?
I mean, as long as it's considered room temp, you should be good. As long as it doesn't get over the storage temperature that we have set in the spec sheet, you should be okay.
Yeah, you should be good. They can handle a pretty wide temperature range. If you start to get up into the 110 degree temperatures, then you might want to get some cooling on it. There is built-in cooling in the BatteryEVO products that respond to the temperature with our battery management system. Okay, Florida. Yeah, so during really hot times, you might want to consider having some cooling on the unit, just to make sure if you're hitting up to those 110. Whole house in Florida in summer, hot, running AC. I need to cut down my electric bill, so Omi is highest. Larry Smith and Jim Smith in Florida. Shout out to my Florida Smiths. I'm from Naples, Florida. So Komi is high. Yeah, Komodo is our highest capacity. And it also has all those amazing features such as the tank treads. You can drive it over anything. If you're interested in Komodo, let us know. We would love to hook you up we'll give you a good hookup on the Komodo. But the Komodo, or the King Kong 2 would be your next best option as far as high capacity, which the King Kong 2 is also used in the Walrus Pacific. So that's your 62 kilowatt hour option. Joe says, Daryl, I'm interested in what inverter you're looking at a similar setup. Hell yeah, love it when you guys chat with each other.
Yeah. See, look, people are talking to each other in the chat again. I like that. All right, so we found out also that the inverters are LF, by the way, to your smoke. They're LF. And then HF, I think, is for radios, is what they're saying. I'm not sure if that is. Whole house in Florida, summer, hot, running AC, and to cut down my electric bill, so Coney is highest. Daryl, I'm sure what inverters we're looking at. Yeah, maybe Daryl should drop the link to that inverter for people who want to run the King Kong 2s. We don't mind people using other inverters if they want to. We understand there are some inverters that are feature-rich or stronger in kilowatt output, but finding the best price per kilowatt hour for units above 15 kWh is going to be very hard with our competitors. I don't even think there's anybody who even makes
I don't think
a
anybody-
15 kilowatt. Like, that's like an industrial product,
Yeah.
unless you parallel a bunch of these echo flows together. But again, that was going to run you 12 to 15 to 20K in price. So if you want to use another inverter, as long as it's 48 volts, it should wire up to either a Rhino or a King Kong 2, get the most possible battery capacity you can get. And remember, all the batteries are warranted for 10 years, so.
For reference, like take your average Powerwall, for example, that's about 15 kilowatt hours. And it runs a much higher price than our Walrus G4, for example, which has 23 kilowatt hours. So we're pushing the industry standards as far as the amount of capacity you get, and we are bringing it to you at the lowest price per kilowatt hour on the market.
I think Rooster Bear finally messaged in for his battery pack. Let me see what we can do, Rooster Bear. I'm going to try to hook you up again.
It's been a long time coming, Rooster Bear. Okay, let me answer these questions here. Tier Smoke says, yes, I've been using an LF and trust the technology. Excellent, we're still working on getting that answer. Daryl says, I want to create 3 fields of 20 panels to the 3 charge controllers. That's super cool. Daryl, I would love to see photos of that setup when you get it working. That's super cool.
So, John, the thing with this is that you're going to run into the issue. I know what you're trying to do, but just the PV input's just not going to accept it. So you could potentially go 2 G3s, or you could do like some type of in parallel type of wiring. You just don't want to exceed the PV inputs. It's just a limitation on the PV more than anything. So I know some people really want to put some of these higher solar systems. It's just generally speaking, you don't really need them. So our G3s and G4s are kind of intended for like that regular use case. I know a lot of the off-gridders love the big solar systems. Perhaps, what's the voltage on those, John? Maybe we can have somebody do a wiring diagram for you of how you can run them in series/parallel so you don't exceed the PV inputs, and you can potentially get that much solar in. Regardless, the MPPT is not really designed to take that much anyway, so around 4 to 6 kW of solar, that creates the efficient system for the GPU. So the short answer is no, but it can work depending on your wiring diagram.
Daryl says, I'm concerned with not placing a device that is the weakest link, 10 gauge to 8 gauge to 6 gauge to the charge controllers, then to the batteries and the inverter.
I'm concerned with not placing a device that is the weakest link, not placing a device that is the weakest link. Are you worried that you're gonna have loss of power throughout that wiring setup? I'm not sure if I understand this fully. I understand what you mean by the 10 to 8 to 6 to the charge controllers. Then, so are you afraid you're gonna lose efficiency over time? We can keep talking on the chat, but if you want to get the live view and you are considering a battery pack, make sure to just text the number and say the word live,
Yep.
so that you're in the system for live deal, and then we'll just continue chatting on the YouTube chat in the meantime. If you don't text that word live and you hit me up later, I'll have no reference to if you were here. Most of the time,
Yeah.
your YouTube user handle doesn't match your phone number, so I won't even know if you were here or not.
So, if anybody's just joining us, to get you guys up to speed, my name's Nick, this is Brian. We're streaming to you live from BatteryEVO, here to answer all your questions, help you guys on your solar journeys, and give you exclusive live stream discounts while we're streaming. Like Brian said, you just got to text in that you're coming from the live stream to that number, 747-282-0538. It's at the top of your screen. We will get that text in this room, and we will hook you up with a price that's lower than any of the sales, even on our website. It's the secret way to get the lowest price on a BatteryEVO product is through our live streams. We've had a lot of great questions in here today. I asked you guys to drop some likes a little bit ago, and I saw likes come in, so thank you guys for liking the video. If anybody else has been watching for a while and has found these conversations to be helpful and interesting, please drop a like. It's appreciated. I do all the video content around here, so helping our YouTube channel helps me, and I appreciate it.
John, you might need a solar tracker. Yeah, see the time. Daryl, I see that you want to do your existing battery hookup. I would say maybe call the number I just put for you and let them know how you're trying to wire it. They're a little more technical with it. Yeah, I see people also messaging in saying, what's the live stream price? So remember to text in for that. And remember that when we make these, they're special pricing quotes. So the quotes will expire within that same day because it's a live deal for the day. So if you're considering getting the battery type, you need to say that you're ready, like you want to purchase today. Otherwise, you're not even going to make it a quote because we're not allowed to hand out these promos to anybody. You can't sit with the quote either. So if you want to get pricing and you're considering the battery pack, talk to the rep on the other end, let them know what you want. They're going to then ask you if you're willing to purchase today. If it's not today, don't say yes and then not pay for it because your one-time live deal is going to just expire. And then you won't be able to get that deal back. So if you're not ready today, let them know. I'm not ready today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, but they're not going to send you the quote. They'll gauge you what you can qualify for. It's a possible qualification. So if you're ready to go today and you're ready to buy today and you got all your questions answered, let them know you're ready today. They'll make you the quote. Purchase it today. Tomorrow that link will not exist. You'll come back to it and it'll say it's not there. All right. So I do see people messaging and say, like, what's the live price? Now I can tell you what the live price is, but you're not going to get the quote unless you're ready to buy today.
John K says, texted a while ago, I suppose you will respond after the live stream, just making sure my text went through. Did you see John's text, Brian?
Text in, say, hey, this is John, because again, the phone numbers come in, I don't know who you really are.
Yeah, if you say, hey, this is John K, that'll
If
ping
you're
it up
texting
to
in
the
from
top.
Live, maybe put your user handle or something, or say your name, like, hey, and then just put the word live, because otherwise, to me, it's just showing a phone number. But yes, if you've been waiting a little while to get a response, just text in again, and it'll put you to the top of the feed. People are texting in. Now, you're seeing people in the chat, but there's other people who are not in the chat who are also texting. So just keep that in mind. So if you want a response, just text again and it'll go to the top.
Thomas Moran says, do you guys help with the installation? So we have an installer network of people, depending on your area. We have installers we can help send out your way, but most electricians know this process. If you want us to help walk you through it, we have our customer support team that you can call in anytime. They'll help you out. And we have videos on our YouTube channel here that explain the step-by-step of how to install a Walrus into your home. So depending on what you need, the answer is yes. Daryl says, I had left shoulder surgery last week. I'm left text fingered. Bear with me. Oh, no worries, no worries. Good luck on your recovery. Hope that it wasn't too difficult for you and that you're not in too much discomfort these days. Niall G says, are these able to be stored outdoors? We recommend against storing your systems outdoors. Systems like the Komodo are built for outdoor use. That's the battery tank you see behind Brian. But take the Walrus and the King Kong and the Rhino, for example, we would recommend having those inside, at the very least in a covered area. But we would recommend against just storing them outdoors with no covering. Praise God says, at John K, I took the inverter spec, the manuals, and the solar panel spec sheet, all PDFs, and put them into ChatGPT. It gave me a plan for setup that keeps the correct amperage for solar input. That's a great way to do it. If anybody needs any of our literature or manuals on anything, let us know. We'll get those to you. Jim Smith says, I'm interested. Can you elaborate on the batteries being used? Without saying much here, is there a concern with your batteries catching fire? No, there's not a concern with our batteries catching fire. They're not used. So the batteries do not have a fire risk. I know that's a common conception within lithium batteries, but we haven't had that happen. Just so you know, all of our batteries, every single product, are equipped with battery management systems that will detect temperature, and if anything goes over the safe range, we have fire extinguishers built into the unit that will put out fire extinguishing foam to extinguish any fire in or around the battery. So say a separate fire starts somewhere in your home and gets to your garage or wherever you have your battery stored, that'll kick off the fire extinguisher in the battery. Daryl says 41 years of lifting patience. Wow, thank you for, I want to say thank you for your service. It's more of a military line to drop, but thank you for doing that. I'm guessing you're an EMT. That is a long career of helping people, so great for you for doing that. Thomas says, I have solar panels that don't work when the grid goes down. You guys can install batteries so that doesn't happen? Yes, so the batteries will store your solar energy to keep your home running when the grid goes down. When I actually just posted a video about this yesterday on our TikTok. A lot of solar installers, not all, but a lot, will encourage you to just buy their panels but not bring you batteries. That's because they get commissions on panels. But to make the most of solar, you want to pair panels with your battery, because you run into an issue where a lot of people buy a lot of panels, but they're still grid tied. So when the grid goes down, they can't use their own panels. The battery gives you control of your own solar energy. You route it directly into the battery and then route into your home separately so that it doesn't have to touch your main electrical panel at all. That way you're storing your energy, you have control over when you program it to get used. You can have it as a reserve for emergencies. And even with the battery, even without solar panels, you can still get savings by using peak shaving time of use, which is to charge up your battery when electricity costs the lowest in the day. That's usually the middle of the night. And use that stored energy to power your home when electricity goes up in the day. That's usually in the morning when everybody's making their coffee, breakfast, or in the afternoon when people are getting home from work. Bulldozer says, can I get the federal tax credit if I install the system myself? I believe so. You get the 30% federal tax credit on solar batteries. I believe you just have to prove the purchase. Daryl says, my BMS and systems in my Ames inverter CCRN. Tier Smoke says, make the manuals and stuff available on your support page. Believe they're available, like spec sheets I think are available on the product pages individually. Mark says, I get message, I've been here 5 minutes.
If you've been waiting for your message, just write it one more time and go to the top of the feed. You don't have to wait around in the chat to get the responses. It's just a bunch of people are texting at the same time. Remember, we have limited units. I think Nick said earlier we have about like 10 G4s left. All G3s are back ordered. If you want a G3, it's already lowered price because it's back ordered. If you want a better price, text in the live and we'll drop it a little more for live. If you're waiting to be responded, just text in one more time. Also tell us what unit you want. Because if you just be like, hey, you have to start from the beginning. Like, what do you want? What do you need? Just say like, hey, I want this, whatever. We can tell you what the pricing is over the text, but we're not going to be able to send you a quote unless you're ready to buy today. You cannot hand out quotes. They're one-time deals. They will expire if you don't buy within the same day of receiving this quote. Tomorrow will not be available. So text in that you're from the live, what you want. We'll tell you what we can qualify you for. But unless you tell us you're ready to buy today, you're not getting a checkout link at that price. And there's no discount code for it either. So we have to make it for you. And then federal tax credit, if I install a system myself, I believe you can. The batteries, they're batteries, so they usually do qualify for the federal tax credit. Might want to check. But yes, my BMS and systems and my inverter CCRN make the manuals and stuff available on your support page. Sure, I think that the products have the specs and the stuff on the product pages themselves. Mark will try to respond to you. Just tell me your mark. Tell me your mark, text it, and it'll go to the top.
Niall says, we do not have an issue here with power outages. Is there an issue with battery life with little use? No. You should, I would still recommend using your battery on a daily basis though, either with solar or just to do the grid-tied peak shaving. That'll lower your power bill no matter what, and that'll program your battery to do daily discharges into your home. But with little use, we wouldn't expect any degradation. Daryl says, remember everyone, batteries equal the grid. The grid is powered from power plants. Your batteries are charged by your panels or wind. Exactly.
Also, if you're messaging in about the Komodo, I know you might want to get live pricing or special pricing for Komodo, but because that unit is a little different, there is not technically a special price for that. To get the best price for that, you need to qualify for the residential rebate and or the American Business Grant. Otherwise, we can maybe do like a discount on it, but it's not going to be with those incentives offered. So if you're just calling in to be like, hey, let me know what the best price for Komodo is, you're probably not going to get that price over the text until you qualify for the rebate and or the American Business Grant. You can get one or the other. So let us know what you're interested in buying. Otherwise, we're just basically telling everybody there's a discount, but you won't be able to get it unless you're ready to buy it. Jim Smith was asking about if the troubleshooting can't be resolved. If the product is defective for whatever reason, we'll cover the shipping. If you don't like the product for whatever reason, you will have to cover the shipping and a restocking fee.
Tear Smoke says, Bulldozer, you just need a receipt for the items you buy to get that the 30% federal tax credit. Just need that receipt.
Getting a lot of messages, so just hang tight. If we don't get to it right away, we will. We'll get to it even if this cuts out. If this cuts out, we'll still get you a deal as long as you text it in during the live.
Tear Smoke says, I hope to do business with you guys soon. I hope to do business with you as well. Did you answer Thomas's question about financing options?
Financing options are in the checkout. We have Affirm, Snap. No, sorry, not Snap. Why did I say that? Affirm. I forgot. Oh,
Affirm,
PayPal Pay Later,
yeah,
and
we have,
Amazon Pay.
Yep. So we have a few options. There's no APR if you qualify. You can do it no interest.
You don't have to put anything down. It'll just be based on whatever. Just pick one in the checkout. It'll be Affirm, PayPal Pay Later, and Amazon Pay. It's like those pay later systems. You might have to make a payment that day, or it might just start the next month over. They're pretty easy to use. They'll qualify you for whatever interest rate you do qualify for, and then you have different payment plans: 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years.
We tested yesterday with Affirm one of our higher storage capacity bundles. It was a bundle that was valued at $24,000. With an Affirm setup, it ran about $480 a month for 24 months. So if you want to do a payment plan, that can be a really great way to make these systems accessible.
I've seen your messages and been through them.
Yeah, Brian's multitasking here. He's going to respond to your texts. And this is a great chat today. So many questions coming in. We're actually having to race against the clock to answer them all, but I like that. It's good. So
Nick's not even helping, so.
oh, come on. Sean says, can the unit be charged and discharged at the same time? I want to say yes. Serdar, can you charge and discharge simultaneously?
Yes, you can.
Yes. Okay. You can charge and discharge simultaneously.
Yeah,
No
with
problem.
solar or grid. You need enough panels to run your house during daylight to charge the battery. When the sun goes down, the battery will carry through the morning. Yeah, Daryl's right. Daryl seems to, yeah, you got it right, Daryl.
They're going to be using it in a pitch deck. Daryl says you need enough panels to run your house during daylight and charge the batteries up until the sun goes down. The batteries will carry you through to the morning. Yep. And don't forget that you can do solar plus grid tied. If you don't have enough panels to fully charge up, use that peak shaving time of use settings to charge up with your grid when your electricity is the cheapest, to maximize the ways that you're taking advantage of having your solar battery. It's kind of like how you set take an automated coffee maker, for example, how you could set that up to just make your coffee in the morning at a certain time. It's the same thing with the Walrus. You can set it to charge up during certain times, and you would do that to do it during the times of day when electricity rates are low.
Also, based on the questions that I'm seeing coming in, a lot of people are kind of asking the same kind of stuff over and over again, so it's kind of easier to just answer it. If you already have solar and you bought them from some solar company, you have a grid-tied solar system, meaning the solar panels are going into your main electrical panel. That's how your meter goes forward and backwards. Backwards when you're getting your rebates, forward when you're utilizing the solar. If you want to get a battery pack for this, you don't need to be concerned about wiring the solar panels to the battery packs. The solar goes into your main electrical panel. From there, you install a breaker. That breaker goes to a NEMA port, like the video looping behind you. Okay, it goes to a port. You then connect your G3 or G4 or whatever Walrus product to that port, and it'll take the grid power from your solar panels and move it into the pack and store it. Then you will wire up the sub panel, like it's showing in the video, through the generator port to then take that battery power and power your home. So you're still doing a grid install. The solar that you currently have will operate as normal. It'll power your home and give you your rebates and charge your battery pack as if it was another appliance in the home. Okay, but you're not doing an off-grid setup. So if you're saying, I have solar, but I want an off-grid setup, though it's separate. Now, can you use the solar to charge your battery pack, then shut off the main panel and then run off the battery pack? You can do that. And that would be some kind of hybrid off-grid system or offloading the energy. If you want to go fully off-grid, you need PV solar panels or a diesel or gas generator to charge the battery pack. Then you get the sub-panel, move the energy away from the main grid and into your home. So if you have grid-tied solar, you can't do off-grid because it's already grid-tied, right? But you can still save money with it, and you can still have power outage protection, and you can utilize time of use settings.
So we got a bunch of new chats here. Let's do a little catch up. Thomas says, I am ready to buy. Want the 30% discount. Text us in. That's 747-282-0538. Brian will get your text right here in this room. Let him know. Say, hey, this is Thomas from the YouTube Live, and we'll get you set up with discounts, and we can tell you how to get a 30% federal tax credit as well. Tax season is just around the corner. Well, we're kind of in it. Larry Smith says, no, I do not have anything at this point. My wife and I are both 100% service-connected, disabled veterans with 22 years of service. Thank you for your service, Larry, and your wife as well. Please text us in, and we'll make sure to give you that YouTube Live hookup on anything you need, answer any more of your questions, and we will definitely be factoring in that veteran status, disabled status, to the quote that we give you. That's great to know. Daryl says, my trailer has the two Hawks. They weigh 100 pounds each, 200 pounds. I also only use a 200-watt generator. It works great. I can't believe how quickly the batteries charge up. Awesome, Daryl. Glad to hear that you are happy with those Hawks. Sean says, can the system be set up to charge down to a certain percentage and then automatically reconnect to the grid, or is it only by hours and minutes? Yes, you can set it to charge up at a percentage, and then of course you can also do the time of day settings. Bulldozer says, can I use a King Kong 2 battery daisy chained to a Rhino battery? You can, right? Those are both 48 volt.
King Kong 2
Yep.
to Rhino 4 is okay.
Yep, you can daisy chain those. You can parallel those together. They're both 48 volt systems. It's a great way to expand because that King Kong 2 is a 62 kilowatt hour. Rhino 4 would be a 40 kilowatt hour. You put those together, you're over 100 kilowatt hours of storage, which is a ton. Niall says, what voltage do you need to charge? What voltage do you need from solar to charge the battery? That any inverter that we have is compatible with your main PV connection points. Generally speaking, you'll want to pair products together that have the same voltage. So if you buy one of our 48 volt batteries and you want to combine accessories and solar chargers, etc. with it, you'd want to match the voltage to 48 volt. But if you get a Walrus inverter of any voltage, you can plug PV directly into it. Bought a Kong 2. The documentation was poor. I had a lot of troubleshooting on my own with the BMS. Any plans to improve documentation forward? I love my Kong. Yes, and you can always email us for additional literature and reach our customer support line any day of the week to get direct help. We have a whole team of customer service folks just in the other room who can answer your questions and work with you as you're working on it to make sure it goes smoothly. Apologize that you had to do a lot of troubleshooting on your own. If there's any troubleshooting that you're still working on, let us know and we'll help you out right here. And I can also pass along the customer service number to our techs who know even more than I do about the nitty-gritty. Daryl says, I've developed what I call a POG system, partial off-grid. I run appliances in my house off of my trailer. Very cool, very cool. Sounds like, Daryl, sounds like you've got a bunch of cool DIY projects that you've been working on as far as solar goes. Very cool stuff. So for anybody who's just funneling into the chat, I've been catching up on our questions in the chat. I think Brian's been catching up on the text messages. So if anybody's just joining, welcome. This is the BatteryEVO live stream. My name's Nick. This is Brian. We're here to answer all your battery questions. We want to help you get started on that solar journey. If you're just at the beginning, I know it's a lot to process, so we'll help you figure it out and make sense of it. We'll walk you through any of our products, whether it's an all-in-one system like the Walrus for your whole home, or a golf cart battery like the Eagle, or a giant Komodo battery tank. We will help you out. We got exclusive live stream discounts while we're live streaming. That's on the text number that you see at the top right corner of your screen, the 747 number there. Text us, let us know you're coming from the live stream. That's how you get the lowest price on a BatteryEVO product possible, lower than our sales on our website. It's kind of the secret way to get the hookup is through this live stream, only while we're live. So be sure to text us in if you're interested. We'll be going for a bit longer, but not for too much longer. So be sure to take advantage of that live stream while you still can. A lot of great questions in here today. Been a very active chat, so thank you guys for that. If you've been streaming with us for a while now and you found this live stream to be helpful and informative, please drop a like on the YouTube channel or consider subscribing as well. I make the video content around here, so it's helpful to see those likes, and it tells the algorithm that we are doing a good job in the solar energy space. I've noticed every time I've asked for likes, you guys drop them, so thank you for doing that. Every time I've asked so far, the likes go up a little bit, so I appreciate that. Let's keep it going.
Texting in, because if he cuts out the live, whoever texts, it's just live reel is over. There's a lot of people texting in. There's
Good.
a lot of people texting.
Thanks for
If I
texting
see
us
that
in,
a lot of
guys.
people are messaging the same kind of stuff, I guess I'll just say it so that everybody can just know. Because I feel like a lot of people are asking the same questions. They're asking if they can use their existing solar as off-grid. If it's grid tied, technically no, right? Especially if you're leasing the solar panels or you're bought it from some company, you have some warranty, we recommend you don't touch it because it could void your warranties. Now, there is a video we made, me and Nick, where you can technically take your grid tied and then do split the microinverters to get the direct current out. That's information for educational purpose only. If you are savvy enough to pull this off, go for it. If you're not, I would say don't do it. And if it's going to void your warranty, we only warranty the battery pack. We can't recommend you to change any of your existing solar setups. That's why we did the Walrus the way it is. You have to install a breaker on your main electrical panel that's tied to your solar. That's going to take the energy out and move it into the battery pack. You then need the sub panel to reroute the energy away from the main grid and to your home via the sub panel. Okay? If you don't have solar panels, and you could still use the main grid and use time of use settings or protect yourself from power outages or offload appliances to save money on utilities. If you want to go off grid, you will need an off grid power source like PV solar panels, gas or diesel generators, wind. What do you call that? A wind turbine? What do you call it?
That's a
Windmill.
Windmill, yeah.
Windmill. You could use those for PV and get off-grid energy. Without either one of those, you cannot do an off-grid setup. It's just not possible because everything you have already is tied to your grid. If you do a manual transfer switch, charge your battery pack during the day, shut off your main grid, and then use the battery pack's power for nighttime or for a day or two, so you offload the energy costs. But a lot of people that start asking the same kind of question over and over again, it's just much easier to tell it to everybody. So, also the other question is you cannot parallel the inverters to each other to get a stronger output. It's best to find out what appliances you're using to find out where your continuous draw is. You'll probably find you're under 12 kilowatt.
Damn lucky. If you call in and ask them to have Fred take your call or ask them to have Fred give you a call, Fred is the top dog as far as tech goes. So he'd be able to take care of that easy peasy. So ask for Fred, he's your guy. Potato Net says the Kong 63 kilowatt hour says 500 amp discharge, but the connectors for the unit don't support that load. Trying to see if you have a direct lug option coming.
Direct lug option, I'm not sure about that one. That's a hard question. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna answer that one. Okay.
Thanks for everybody who's joined us so far. Been a very active chat today. A lot of great questions, and it's good to see a lot of you guys have been chatting within the chat as well, having conversations and answering each other's questions. Great to see all these people who are in the off-grid lifestyle coming together.
If anybody wants battery packs above like what the G4 is, that's what we call large capacity savings. So if you need a battery pack like the King Kong 2, Pacific Pro, or Komodo, let us know that you're looking at that kind of system. Before we had these units, we used to give out best pricing for those people who want, but we have to parallel like rhinos together to do it. Now we just have a whole unit, so if you need like more than 40 kilowatt hour worth of battery storage, let us know if that's what you're looking for, and those always get the best prices. It's always priced per kilowatt hour, and with the bigger units we have more room. So if you need something like that, let us know. If you think you need a G4 and you might need the extension, get the extension now. Because then you're gonna call later for the extension, and we'll probably be out of stock because we usually sell everything pretty fast. It's always better to have more than to have less. Right?
Yes, always good. Sorry, I was looking at a little message here, but the answer is yes. Daryl says, I live very near to Altadena. Our power was off for 18 hours. My refrigerators didn't know it. Love to hear that. That's what it's all about, keeping that food unspoiled. What was the situation that had your power out for 18 hours?
If you want the stronger inverter, the Walrus Pacific Pro has the best overall specs, and I could give you a good deal on Pacific Pro right now. It's got the stronger inverter, large battery pack. If you're getting a lot of questions about like, well, you want to do the video today, that's because we have to verify that you want the pack today before we make any quotes. We're not just going to give out quotes for everybody just to run around with them.
I will be right back. You are stuck with just Brian for a couple moments.
I'm so sorry for all your things.
That's the last question. Okay, damn, this is going crazy. Alright, this is the last one we went off to. Okay, so damn lucky, I think you might have got the number. It's the number on the screen when you go to the, not this one, the one on the website. That will get you to the text. I live near at Altamina or College. Oh yeah, we talked about this. Okay. 2X or 2 BMS. Every battery pack has a BMS inside, and you can always parallel them together. Found over the time that the grid flux is almost
Goose Pond, I saw your email. Thank you for that. It was a wonderful message. I was planning on responding to it in a little bit right before I left the office. It was a very nice message. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, I got a response coming your way. But while you're here, if there's anything you want to talk about or any questions you got for us, let me know. But I was looking at your content earlier, Goose Pond. After I read your email, I went to your channel and I was watching a couple of your videos. I enjoy your content as well. I liked the pooping in a bucket video. That made me laugh. It's good stuff.
What happened to the new bag? We might have to cut the stream out soon, because we're going to run out of battery packs. You see no, Chris? Make sure if you want a G4 to let us know today, because it's what, Wednesday today? We'll probably be all out by
It's only
Monday.
gonna be Friday tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Thursday.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so,
I said Thursday.
are you gaslighting me?
That's like,
Okay, alright, so if you can successfully gaslight me or Nick over the chat, we will do the best possible deal. If you want a G4, let us know right now because we probably will not have, they'll probably go into back order by around Monday, to be completely honest. Maybe even less than that.
Daryl says, I have also determined a house needs 1 pound of lithium per square foot. That's it. I've never heard somebody make that kind of metric for how you would calculate how much you need. That's very interesting. It's cool. So 1 pound of lithium per square foot, 1,200 square foot needs 1,200 pound. Is there any data to support this idea? We would have to look into that, but that's an interesting data point. So if you use a 1,200 square foot house, you'd maybe want to look into how much the average is for a house that size, of how many kilowatt hours a day they use. Then we'd probably run it up against the weight of lithium within some of our products that match that. I would say the issue with doing it by square foot to pound is maybe that some people might use different applications that are much higher draw. Like if you have an EV charger in your home, that'll be a much higher draw than if somebody doesn't. Praise God says, what was the credit that Brian keeps mentioning for the Komodo, the American Business Credit? So we have 2 programs that help make the Komodo more accessible to buyers. There is the residential rebate for home owners who buy it for residential use, and there is the American Business Credit, American Business Grant, which is for business owners planning on integrating it into their business. Specifically American business owners. So if you are interested in more info on either of those, please go ahead and text in that number to reach Brian directly. Let him know you're interested in the Komodo with either the residential rebate or the American Business Grant. Daryl says, I'm a biochemist. Very cool. That explains why you are so knowledgeable about these systems and have come up with so many cool projects for how to use them. Damn Lucky says it's a tax credit. So there is a federal tax credit that's 30%, and that applies to any battery. So any battery you can get the 30% back if you're using it for solar. You just got to provide the receipt. Like was mentioned earlier, what we're talking about here is the Komodo's American Business Grant and Residential Rebate, which are programs specific to the Komodo, which is that battery tank you see behind Brian on screen. That is a 100 kilowatt hour battery on tank treads that you drive with a remote control. It's got outlets on front you can use to power tools, appliances, anything else. It's got inverter with outputs on the side so that you can do anything with it that any other high capacity inverter would do. And it's got an electric vehicle charger built right into it, so you can just plug right in from your tank. It's got the charging gun on it into your Tesla, for example, and take it anywhere. As you can see on screen, that was a shot of me driving it through mud on a construction site, and here that first shot is me driving it over rubble during the we were part of a response team for the Pacific Palisades disaster area. We drove it through rubble there. I took that photography. Daryl says, I'm concerned with heat. I changed my AC to a heat pump. The inverter starts slowly. This reduces stress on the batteries. That's smart, that's smart. We always recommend people to take measures like that to reduce stress where they can. Soft starter is a great way to do that with HVACs. So yeah. Anybody else has any other questions, please let us know. Brian is busy responding to all your texts. He's gotten a lot of texts, which is a good thing. Let's keep texting him, keep him busy, stressed, and blessed.
We have some pretty general questions about the products. Ask them in the chat versus in the text message. So we can just answer the question for you and everybody else will hear it too. Otherwise, we're just kind of repeating the same answers to almost everybody, to be honest. A lot of people are asking the same questions. It's not a bad thing, it's just, it helps if everybody hears it, and it will get you quicker to your deal than trying to figure out whether or not we can grid tie you, off grid tie you, or anything like that.
Thanks to everybody who's joined us so far. A lot of viewers on today's stream, a lot of excellent conversations in the chat. And again, I see every time I've asked for likes, it goes up a little higher. So thank you guys for liking the stream. If you've been on the stream for a little bit and have found this to be helpful or informative, please drop that like. It shows the YouTube algorithm that we are doing a good job within the solar space. I appreciate that.
I want this to keep going because it's going good. overwhelmed with text, I'll probably get a battery pack. So if you need a battery pack, just mention we'll get to it before the end of the day, but we might just have to cut out the live because there's too many people wanting batteries.
Don't let that stop you. Keep
That's
texting
it.
Brian. I want
But-
to see sweat going down his forehead because he's overwhelmed by the massive volume of text messages.
And then again, if you're ready to buy today, let me know you're ready to buy today so we can just make you the quote. Right? Because then people are asking like for 4 or 5 different items at the same time, like G4 or Pacific or this or that. Just tell me like, okay, I'm ready to buy today. This is kind of what I'm looking at. And I can't be sending out like quotes for each item, you know?
Joe S says, I'm seeing that on the Walrus Pacific Pro, it has an 80 amp max charge rate and up to 230 PV in. That's 1760 watts in. Am I reading correctly? You are. What we have listed there is accurate. I'll double check the conversion to watts just to make sure that the information is correct.
And then one more time about the G3 stuff. If you want a G3 or a G3 extension pack, everything is back ordered. They should be coming in around May 10th. But because of that, the prices are lower. And if you want it a little bit cheaper, text it to the live link, and then we'll give you that. We'll give you that first.
Running a little math for you right now, Joe. Like Brian said, the G3s are back ordered. We sold those very fast. We got more coming on May 10th. And May 10th happens to be my birthday. So when we get those G3s back, buy a G3 as a birthday present for me, please. If anybody can guess exactly how old I will be turning on May 10th, down to the age, that would be very cool. Maybe we'll give you an even better discount if you can guess exactly how old I'll be
Let us know what item
turning.
you want. Because some people are messaging like, what's the deal? But it's like, I don't know what item you're talking about. And we have Walrus, G3, G4, Rhino 4, King Kong 2, Pacific, Pacific Pro. They all have a little bit different pricing because everything is discounted differently. So just let me know what item you want and if you're ready to buy today. If you're not ready to buy today, let us know that too. And that way we can at least hold your spot for when you do text back. But whoever's ready to buy today wants to at least tell me you're ready to buy today so I can make you your order checkout link. If you want to talk to a technical rep, you can use the talk to an expert. They can also write you quotes. Let them know you came from the live. They'll help you get them. But this way it's a little faster because people are also asking technical questions in the text messaging, and it's kind of blocking, like bottlenecking the thread a little bit, which is it's okay. But that's why we're not responding as quickly as you want us to. But just stay, if you want us to respond, say something, it'll go to the top of the feed.
Joe, the math on your question is getting a little, I'm trying to do the math myself, but it's getting a little above my pay grade. I'm going to send it to our tech just to make sure. I went to art school, so math isn't my strongest area. Okay, my tech has responded. They're working on getting that answer right now. They're telling me that those are the peak values. Thank you for liking the stream. I saw another like come in after I asked. Appreciate that, guys. If anybody's been with us for a while and found this conversation informative, go ahead and drop that like. Helps us out. If you're just joining the stream, welcome. We've been streaming for about 2.5 hours now, answering your BatteryEVO questions. My name is Nick. I'm streaming to you here with Brian. We are here to answer any and all questions about the BatteryEVO product lineup. So we got the all-in-one systems like the Walrus, take your home off the grid. We got golf cart and RV batteries. We have all-terrain tank batteries. So any of those or anything else solar related, you can ask us questions. We'll give you advice based on our knowledge of the products and of the solar setup. And if you're just at the very beginning of your off-grid journey and you don't know where to start, that's okay too. You can just let us know the size of your home, where you live, so I can look up state incentives for solar, things like that, and we will help you get started, make an informed decision on what might be a good battery for your specific setup. Joe, to answer your question, 7 kilowatts is the max power the MPPT can handle, so 7,000 watts.
If anybody has a 5-ton AC and they are just 100% sure that they want to take their AC off the grid, I would recommend just skip past everything and go straight to the Pacific Pro. Don't even ask about the G4 or the Pacific if they can do it. It's got the battery capacity to do it, but the inverter without a soft starter will, it's not that it can't do it, it's just to cause an overload surge when the AC turns off. So soft starter with Pacific Pro will create the most efficient system. I would honestly just say don't even think about the other ones. If you don't care to, if you have a 3.5 ton AC or less, or just have mini splits, Pacific, G4 are perfectly fine. Some people do get away on the 510 AC on the G4s, but they use soft starters and they kind of mesh it with the grid or with solar to kind of offload some of the power coming in. But if you want to do 510 AC, like it's a no, what do you call that? When you're not willing to give it up? That's a non-negotiable, like the is it non-negotiable?
I think so.
Like if it's
Real
for
quick.
sure, Pacific Pro.
Real quick, Praise God says the Komodo has me considering a AAA style EV rescue service. I could drive it around on a trailer to any disabled EV. Yeah, we have talked to folks about that. Some of our B2B department has worked on some plans like that. Very viable strategy because the Komodo actively recharges with solar. We have a solar panel trailer that we produce that we recommend pairing with the Komodo for situations like that. That's a trailer that has solar panels on it, so you pull around the Komodo and charge it with the trailers. But yeah, that's a totally viable business strategy. You could definitely do that, and the Komodo is actually capable of towing cars as well. It has a several thousand-pound towing limit, so you could even tow, like say a car is stuck on the side of the road and needs to be moved somewhere else before it's charged. You could move it with the Komodo, and the Komodo is also capable of towing its own trailer. We have a video where we tow a trailer that has a Komodo on it with another Komodo. Daryl says, I will go with the King Kong 2. Awesome. Be sure to bombard Brian with that text. If you haven't already texted him, shoot him a text at that number. It's 747, number at the top of the screen. Let him know this is Daryl from the live stream and I want my live stream hook up on the King Kong 2. He'll give you that lower price, lower than our website sale.
Anybody wanting to go completely off grid, you're interested in it, you're gonna have to get a PV solar kit. So let us know if you're like, that's what you want to do, let us know right from the gate so we know to just recommend you a solar kit right out the gate. We're also limited on solar panels, so the moment we run out of solar panels, those kits are backordered until we get more. The solar panels with the PV, they're priced super aggressively when paired with a battery pack. We will not sell the PV solar panels on their own. That's not what we do. But with a battery pack, it's like $1,600. You're not gonna be able to find that deal anywhere. If you want to go off grid, tell us right off the gate. So we just go to recommend you a battery kit with the solar panels right away. Okay, so we don't have to kind of like.
Praise God. I shot a message to one of our B2B guys letting him know that that you'd been inspired with that idea after seeing the Komodo, and he said that that's totally doable. He wanted me to mention that it has the level 2 EV charger built in, meaning it can rescue any EV in 10 minutes, get it going again. So totally viable. If that's something you're really interested in, shoot us a text. We'll hook you up with that American Business grant and make that happen. We would love for you to be an authorized Komodo EV charging service. That'd be pretty cool. And we can always, of course, talk in more detail about this idea before you move on your purchase. We got a lot of knowledgeable folks around here in the EV and solar space, but also we just got a couple smart, business-minded individuals around here too who could help you with that. Thanks again for all the questions, guys. It's been a good one. If anybody else has any other questions relating to BatteryEVO, let us know and we will help you out. If you have questions about your solar setup or anything else, we are here to help. We've been streaming for about 2.5 hours. We actually have gone a little longer than we originally planned because this has been such a good stream. So thank you guys for making it a good one. And we'll keep going for a little bit longer so that you guys have the opportunity to text in for the live stream discount. Remember, once this live stream ends, we're not allowed to offer those live stream discounts anymore. You can, once you're offered it, you can act on it, but when the stream ends, we can't make those offers anymore. Camera faces this way.
No, it's not even the original.
Oh,
It's harmless, but it was
thank you for the mosquito warning.
mosquito hot.
Ah. Praise God says, thank you, you are welcome.
Well, actually, no.
Daryl also says, thank you, you're welcome, Daryl. I'm looking at my analytics here. I see our average view duration is over 10 minutes. So thank you for all you guys who jump in and then stay with us for a while. That's awesome. I know we've been talking with a couple of you guys for a while, so a few of you guys in here, we've been chatting for the majority of the stream. So very cool. Thank you for hanging out with us this afternoon. I'm gonna do a little recap of folks we've talked to this afternoon. We chatted with Rooster Bear. Rooster Bear's a long-time viewer, been in almost every live stream we've had, so always good to see Rooster Bear's name pop up in the chat and have a little conversation. We talked to Jeff Kaiser for a bit about their battery management system. Praise God, you've been with us for the majority of the stream. We've talked on a wide variety of things. Thank you for that. GWW was here for a while, talking King Kong 2. The Hill came in, talking Rhino systems. Off-Grid Essentials chatted with us for a while. Joe S. E. Evangeliste, aka John. Andy Burns from Lakeland, Florida. GWW from Orlando. Ryan Keelsberg, who made fun of Brian's jacket. Much appreciated. If anybody wants to make fun of Brian, it's always invited. Joe S. Lucas Reza, Anita Bat with the hilarious username, M. Nichols, Geronimo Valdez, Mike Kimball, Paul Henry from Minnesota, Larry Smith, Tear Smoke, who had some great questions and some input as well, John K, Siam Kishore 73, who has a Kong, Mike T, Scott Bunzy, Passport JV,
Only itself?
Larry Smith, and more. So thank you to all of you guys, Bulldozer, Niall, I didn't forget about you guys, Mark Petzinski, Thomas Moran. A lot of good folks in the chat today. I wanted to recap through all you guys. Took longer than I thought it would because there were so many today. Robert Annette, didn't say your name.
And 904 is take parallel with Pacific, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're both 48 volt systems.
We're asking for a lot of high capacity systems. I know you guys want to get the pricing right out of the way, but the problem is that we don't know if you're ready to buy the scale of course. We can give you like what the price will be, but you're not getting the link unless you're ready to buy today. And even then, we might not give out the pricing if we don't show some type of interest in buying. Because we can't give out these promos to just about anybody, because then they'll run around and put posts on the internet. So let us know exactly
Yeah,
what you
we're
want.
still going.
Some
It's been a
people
great
some
live
people are
stream
also
today.
asking that they want like pricing for like 4 different things.
Mute my mic
Like,
real quick.
that's visible, especially considering that other people want to buy. And I can't just quote out a bunch of stuff. Like, let us know what your setup is trying to be, and we'll just give you the recommendation on what that unit
Yep.
is, and we'll give you pricing for those units.
The camera's aiming this way.
Yeah, you can see the live feed right here.
Go to the next page. Yeah, okay. See the right hand part over there? That loops. Go to the next 2 weeks. Keep on going. Keep on going. Do deck number 2. Yeah, so if you see here, the app loads just like it would. So this is a quick pitch. And then the very last slide.
So our D4 inverter, different system voltage.
Very last slide. You'll see.
D4 inverter, different system voltage. D4
So it
inverter,
tells the story when I say
15 kVA.
so just 2 volts.
Okay.
And
That's the Pacific Pro one, right?
If you go to slide number 3, you'll see we have the YouTube videos.
Great. Yeah, I'll send you links right now. Did you see the folder that Andy sent with landscape GIFs?
No, I didn't see it all.
Okay, so we sent you a folder that has 7 or 8 GIFs in it that are landscape formatted. I can get you 2 portrait as well. And I'll send you links right now.
And then I'm going to take that deck and completely turn it into a kimono, and then it's yours
15
forever.
kVA.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you.
Is that what we put the random for? No. Okay.
Alright guys, I had my mic muted, but I know that my audio probably still came through because we have all of this going on in the same room. If anybody else has any other questions, please let us know. We are still here to answer your questions for a little bit longer.
If anybody has over a 3,000 square foot home, is running central AC, maybe has a pool, or any of these types of appliances, just consider the fact that you might need to go G4 or Pacific Pro with the higher inverter. If you're using over 30, 40 kilowatt hours a day, you can go G4 plus extension, or you can just jump to Pacific or Pacific Pro. Some people you don't really need. If you're only trying to do like a little bit of backup power, the G4 is perfectly fine. Right? Some people, you guys want to offload your entire setup, consider you're going to go to the higher system. It might seem pricey, but compared to anything else in the market, you're not going to find anything with this much battery capacity, this much of an inverter at the price points you're getting. Just remember that. Once you do the off-grid solar setup, your energy's free. So if you have swimming pools, central AC, just consider you need the higher end systems. The G4 can do it up to 3.5 ton AC. We would still recommend a soft starter anyways. If you have anything above that 3.5 ton AC and are adamant that you want to take it off the grid, just consider the Pacific Pro. It's just the easiest way, instead of trying to find the technical way to sustain that kind of setup.
Alrighty, views are starting to wind down a little bit. Chat's starting to wind down a little bit. We're probably going to wrap up this stream pretty soon. So if you want us to keep going a little bit longer, make sure to interact in the chat here. Ask us some questions and we'll keep going. As long as there's conversations to be had, we'll keep the conversation going. But if we're winding down here for the day, that's okay too. Be sure to text in if you haven't already. Take advantage of that live stream deal while we're still live. We'll probably be wrapping up, unless the chat gets more interactions, we'll probably be wrapping up in the next 10 minutes or so.
A whole bunch of people messaging in. If you haven't been responded to, just re-message again and let it go to the top of the funnel. Remember that the live discounts are limited in quantities and in time. So if you're like, hey, this is not the time I want it, you might be removed from the live list deal. keep that in mind.
Man, I've been listening to the stream this whole time to monitor audio. It has been a long time since I heard that 48B, 48B song. I'm feeling charged up. Thank you for everybody who's tuned in today. If you've enjoyed the stream, be sure to drop a like and maybe subscribe before you leave. We'll be wrapping up shortly. Unless you got questions.
Wrap it up now. Freaking game crazy.
Brian can't keep up with the texts from you guys. Kyan says, what is the max PV input on the Pacific Pro? Hey, Sardar. Sardar. What's the max input on the Pacific Pro for PV? Is that what I was just messaging you about? Yes, it is. Sorry. So that is, it has two MPPT ports that are 7,000 watts each. Thanks, buddy. Answering so many questions, I forgot that I just messaged you about that one. No problem, Kyan. If you have any other, there's a K and either way, if you have any other questions, let me know. We're happy to help out. If you're interested in moving forward on a Pacific Pro, be sure to text in that number. It's at the top of your screen there, 747-282-0538. You will reach Brian directly there, and as long as you tell him you're coming from the live stream, he can offer you a lower price on your product than anything you see online. Yeah, I got it.
I think we kind of caught up.
If we missed your text, text us again.
Yeah, text us again. Some of you guys are giving you the price. If it's not what you like, I'm sorry, but it probably won't be cheaper than that ever again because this is live discount.
And we got
In the past, prices have fluctuated with the price of lithium and with the new tariffs going on
Yeah.
and the economy.
professional DJs. Professional DJs says, hi, to fully charge this unit, how many panels do you need and how long will it take? So it depends on what unit. Let's use the Walrus G4 as an example. You'd want to have at least 4 550 watt solar panels, which we sell with the Walrus in a bundle to charge up. You can get a kit with 8 for even faster charge. Hey Serdar, we messaged my tech to get you a exact charging estimate. How long does it take to charge up a G3 or G4 with solar panels? Let's say you have 8 panels of the 550 watt.
So if you have a 4,400 watt system,
Yes.
yes,
Divided.
divided by the 2050 watt, about 5 hours.
5 hours.
5 hours.
And remember, you're not charging from 0 to 100. You're only topping off whatever you didn't use. Everybody thinks it's like 0 to 100. It's not like that. It's like, just think about like your Tesla. You're not going to 0 and then charging to 100. You're probably charging somewhere around 60 back to 80. Same thing with these Walruses. You're going to probably go like 50 to 100 or 80 to 100. So you'll probably fully charge in about 2 hours. Don't consider it going from 0 to 100. People are asking for so much joules, they're causing internal conflict.
Really?
They probably have at least one person who's gonna get a deal that we're gonna get in trouble for.
Oh, good. I like getting in trouble.
If you want a really good deal, let us know if you need a lot of battery capacity. That's how you're gonna get the best deal possible. If you want golf cart batteries and stuff like that, we can probably give you a little bit of deal, but the best discounts are on the big capacity stuff. If you want a good deal on golf cart batteries, considering buying a 4X kit. If anybody's interested in the Komodo, because I just wrote a messaging about it, but we're at the beginning of that phase to get the residential rebates or the American Business Grant, we're gonna have to send you some forms. So it probably won't be a today thing, but over the course of like today, tomorrow, like we can get you qualified for that stuff and we can talk about how you can use this unit. It might be an extra conversation versus like the G3s and stuff where we can just give you a deal and call it a day. Because we got to get you qualified. So if you want a Komodo, let us know, but the timeline will be a little bit more extended. And I can't give you a price of discount because it depends on what you qualify for, which will be dependent on which incentives and rebates you get qualified for, how many units you need, and what you're going to use it for. If you qualify for the applications we're trying to fill, both those grants, and maybe more than one unit, that's going to be the best pricing possible. You can also, if need be, pair it with our solar kits or our solar trailer. That'll probably get you a good price too. But if you do want a Komodo, let us know that you want a Komodo. I'll get management to take a look at it, and then we'll get you guys a good price on these, because Komodo's the new thing. If you've been here in the past, you know what we did with the walruses. It started off as a brand new product that nobody really understood, and then we sold them all before the summer came. So the Komodo could be the same thing as we roll it out. So we have it live installed. Funneling stuff in.
Let's see.
King Kong 2 is priced with the live right now at the best price right now. So if you want a King Kong 2 Pacific Pro, let us know in the chat, because we're gonna cut this live in a bit. Just tell us you need the unit.
Yeah, unless things pick back up, I'm gonna say it's 3:55 p.m. in Pacific time right now. 3:56. I'm probably gonna wrap us up at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, unless we get a lot more chats. So be sure to get your chats in now before I wrap up in a few minutes, and text in Brian to get your deal while you still can.
We might get in trouble for some of these deals, so take advantage right now, because I'm not going to give you the deal tomorrow. Okay, it seems like we might be caught up with messages. So whoever's gotten their deal in the message, that's your deal. Message is back. If you're ready to go, we'll make you the quotes. If you're not ready to go, your phone number might get excluded from the live deal, by the way. It's our system, it's not us. Alright, I'll let you call it, Nick, whenever you want to.
Sounds good. 4 more minutes on the clock, and then this wonderful live stream experience comes to an end.
Anybody is in the production space and needs some anamorphic lenses, just let me know and I'll hook you up with that too. This is a chance to, what is it called? Cross promote?
Yep. Filmmakers and cinematographers, we know ball. We'll get you anamorphic lens. Just we know ball. Yeah.
Who's that?
We got the hookup on Atlas lenses.
Anamorphic lenses.
The best
We need
anamorphic
mattress.
lenses in the game.
What else do we offer? We need mattress. What else can we do? Electric scooters.
Electric scooters. What don't we?
What do we have?
What business aren't we? Do you need?
If you or
Do you need
your
criminal
spouse
lawyer?
wants to become
Do
an
you need-
esthetician, do you need a lawyer in the region of Kansas City or Arizona?
If you need a jungle-themed lawyer, we got you.
Yeah, if you want to become an esthetician or need esthetician type products, if you need motion graphics, VFX, or an ornamental hermit, we can do that too.
If you need digital marketing,
I'm missing something here. What is it? Huh?
tiny homes.
Tiny homes? We didn't get the tiny homes, so. I mean, maybe I could hook you up with tiny, but I wouldn't know how immediately. If you need, that's gone. I did have that though.
Shaved
I
ice.
had an arborist, but no more.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I never heard of it.
Oh, rain gutter installations. Let me know. I mean, it's the end of the live, so we could spam a little bit, like
Might as well.
Like, drop. So VFX, video content creation, a Tommy, an ornamental hermit, mattresses, electric scooters, esthetician type products, lawyer in the Kansas region or Arizona,
Video
anamorphic
marketing, I'm your
cinematic
guy.
lenses, lithium battery packs.
If you need
Beds.
cursed animated content that is just like the bottom of the barrel of what you'd find on the internet, look up Questicles.
Look up Questicles if you want content that Nick creates.
That's
What's
my off the
thing
clock
that,
time.
What do the little things make that your wife makes? What are they called?
Oh, crocheted stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you need anything crocheted,
Yeah, look up Keem Corp. That's my wife's crochet. She makes Crocheted goblins.
What else can we offer them, Chris? Is that about it? Is that just, did I go off the list?
Is that everything that we have? Is that everything we offer as human beings?
If there's anything I'm missing, let us know in the chat. I will go source it for us. So, oh yeah. If you're not fully satisfied with your YouTube Live discount, haggle. It's okay. It's okay to haggle. We'll try our best to get you what you need. But Nick's gonna call it. He'll kill the stream when it's ready to go.
It is 4 o'clock, 7
Alright.
o'clock Eastern. That's my cue to wrap us up here. So thanks again to everybody who joined today. It was a good stream. We will see you again next time. Keep an eye out for a
Yeah.
text or notification or anything else from us saying that we are live if you want
Yeah.
to engage and get that stream.
If we didn't get to your message, just respond again one more time. It'll go to the top of the feed. We'll still give you your live deal if you messaged us within this time frame. Thank you.
Good night, folks. Nick and Brian signing.